Well, howdy, partner. Hell of a storm out there. Come on in out of the weather. Get a seat at the bar. Have yourself a double of the good stuff. Good thing you came in when you did. It's only getting worse out there, but in here we got friends, we got drinks, we got tales that need telling. I was just about to start one up right when you wandered in. Hello, everyone. We are Vorpal Tales, and we perform terrifying tales and awesome adventures every day of the week, most days, twice a day. If it's the scary and spooky that summons you, on Sundays we are playing Unknown Armies and Vampire the Masquerade. On Tuesdays we are playing Mage the Awakening Defiance. On Thursdays we are playing Star Trek Adventures Dauntless. And on Fridays we play Chronicles of Darkness No Time for Reality. And then starting in 2 Fridays, Season 2 of Scarred Lands on Saturdays 2 Fridays, Season 2 of Scarred Lands begins. On Saturdays, we play Symborium over at Free League Twitch channel, and later on Saturday, back on the Vorpal Tales channel, we play Werewolf the Apocalypse. But if it's the adventurous and heroic that calls to you, on Monday, we will be finishing up the finale of our Tales from Beyond the Grave romp, The Wicker Witch, and on Tuesdays, we play Squeaks in the Deep on the Onyx Path Publishing Twitch channel. We would like to invite you to our website, vorpaltales.com, where you can see our complete calendar, see recaps of shows, get the links to our past archive of shows on YouTube. You will find links to all of our social media here and our Patreon. Your support is greatly appreciated. Be sure to click follow on Twitch to see all of our show times and then inspect our YouTube archives. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell when you visit. Special thanks to Roll20, which we are using for our virtual gaming space tonight. To @N8Mid for custom tabletop character sheets across several shows and VTT platforms. To Ghost Stories Incorporated, Miyu, and Darren Curtis Music for some of the awesome music that will grace your ears during many of our games. All right. So, Twilight Legionnaires, that's all of you. Please introduce yourselves to the townsfolk with your name and what cowpoke you'll be portraying in this tall tale of ours. Just your name for now. Do we have a talking order?
I don't think
it is up in the top of the Discord. It is Harry, Jane, Savannah, Amber, Elaine, Ever, and Steve? ?
Hello, I'm Harry. Should I introduce who I'm playing or just me right now?
Yourself and then the name of your character.
Yes, I'm playing Aram Shepherd.
Okay.
All right. Hello, I am playing Maylin.
And your name?
Enough? Oh, I'm Jane, also known as the Confused Crow. I hope you can hear me.
Okay. Hi, I'm Savannah, and I'll be playing Abigail Thomas.
And since Elaine's not here, that would be me. Wait, did you go?
Amber hasn't gone. It's
I get the brain, sorry.
It's okay, we're doing it live. Hi, folks. My name is Amber. I also go by the Rebel Selkie, and my character tonight is going to be Virginia Cossack.
I'm just gonna go hide in a corner now. Hey everybody, I'm Ever. My pronouns are they, them. And tonight I will be playing Jesse Leland Sharp, whose pronouns are he, him.
Excellent. And everybody, if I have not introduced myself yet, my name is Steve. You can find me on the internet at Voodoo Arcade. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be your marshal or storyteller for this adventure. Okay. So, as I'm sure that you can tell, we are playing Savage Worlds Deadlands. We will be using the newest version of the books that I have, but not on my desk because I was reading them in the other room. Awesome. Okay, so we will be using Adventurers Edition of Savage Worlds. This is Horror at Headstone Hill. This came with the newest Kickstarter that launched last year from Pinnacle. This was funded. It's an awesome adventure. It comes with a lot of great resources. And if you don't have Adventurers Edition of Savage Worlds yet, or Adventurers Edition of Deadlands, look for a Kickstarter, look for a place that might have a copy. It's the newest, updated, streamlined version of Savage Worlds. So, we have a few players in our group here that I don't believe have ever played Savage Worlds before. So, we're going to start today with sort of a mini session 0. So, if you've never played Savage Worlds at home, or if you've never played Deadlands, This is going to give us an opportunity to learn a little bit about the system, a little bit about the history, a little bit about the world before we dive into the adventure. We should be able to get to the adventure today. I don't plan this taking the whole session, but let's go ahead and get into it. Here is our intro. So, Savage Worlds is a system I was introduced to a very, very long time ago, and I like just kind of how fast-paced it is and how adventure-driven it is. So, what are the core ideas in Savage Worlds? The core ideas in Savage Worlds is that you have a main die and a wild die. You as player characters are what's called wild cards in this system. You're either going to have extras or you're going to have wild cards. Some bad guys are wild cards, while all player characters are wild cards. So that means that you're going to roll either a D4 through a D12 as your primary die, and you're going to roll a D6 as your wild die. You do not add these together. When you roll them, you are looking for the higher of the two die. So if on a D8, you only rolled a 2, but on the D6, you rolled a 5, you got a 5 on that roll. What is it that you're trying to get? What is a success? In Savage Worlds, 4 is usually considered a successful roll. If one of your dies come up as a 4 or higher, it is likely that you succeeded at whatever it is that you were doing. There are situations where something might be more difficult or easier for you to do, where you'll get a bonus, +1, +2, -1, -2 to whatever you're doing. Again, it's that total number at the end of your roll. You're looking for a 4 or higher. That is your success. Okay. One of the things that this game also does is raises. Okay. The higher you roll, the better your character does at whatever thing that they were trying to do. So if you are trying to shoot somebody, right, without any extra stuff added in there like cover or anything like that, just a base trying to shoot somebody with your gun in Savage or in Deadlands, you are going to roll your shooting die. You're going to roll your wild die, which is a D6, and you're looking for a 4 to hit. Well, if you rolled an 8, you rolled 4 higher than what you were looking for. That's a raise. So for every 4 above what you were looking to get, you are getting an extra kind of bonus out of whatever it is that you were doing. So if you were to hit someone for a total of 8, you would roll whatever your normal die of damage is. So for a normal pistol, that's going to be 2d6. You actually add an extra d6 on top of that for raising. So a gun that shoots for 2d6 just became 3d6 of damage. Okay, so what if I only have a d4 in the skill that I'm trying to roll? Okay, how can I both succeed, get that 4, but also raise? Like, how can you get 4 more than 4 if you're only rolling a d4? It's an excellent question I just asked, but also you just asked. Savage Worlds has something called acing. When you roll the highest possible number on a die, it explodes, you keep rolling it, and you're adding that to that total die. So if you have a D6, you can roll a 6, roll it again. If you then roll a 4, you roll a 10 on that D6. So if that was your shooting die, right, you just rolled a 10, 4 to hit, 8 becomes a raise, and those last 2 just kind of fade away. They didn't get you anything. But on a D6, you just rolled to hit and raise. So just think what you can do with a D4. You're never out of a situation in Savage Worlds. You are always got that chance to ace and to keep building up your number going forward. As a matter of fact, with a D4, 25% chance you're going to ace. Not bad. Okay? So, for all of you with your character sheets right now, we pre-built our characters. The big thing that you're going to want to know is that anything not currently listed on your sheet that I may ask you to roll, like, so if you don't have survival and I ask you to roll a survival, that is an untrained skill if you don't have any points put into it. An untrained skill is rolled at D4 -2. So that is going to be your most challenging thing to do. No, it's a key. That's pretty much the game. You want to do something, I'll ask you for a particular skill or a particular attribute. You will roll that die along with your D6, looking for 4 or higher. The degree at which you succeed is the degree at which your character does the thing that it's trying to do. And we just go from there. That is the core of Savage Worlds. A couple of other things very quickly. only other thing that I really want to cover in the base rules without getting too deep into the weeds in some of these extra rules is bennies. Players by default start with 3 bennies. These are it's a term for benefit. Okay, if anyone didn't know that, I didn't know that for years playing this game. I was like, I don't know why they call these bennies. So you're going to start with 3 bennies. And what those do is a couple of different things. One, they keep you alive. Okay, so in this game, bennies, which you will start with 3 of them unless you take luck. There's an edge that actually gets you more starting bennies. Bennies will allow you to re-roll a trait roll that is like an attribute or a skill roll. So if I ask you for a shooting roll, you fail, but you really want to hit that guy, you can spend a benny and you can re-roll it. You can recover from shaken. If in a fight, okay, if you are almost hit or if you are hit but maybe not quite damaged, okay, you become shaken. It's a character's like trying to like cover from bullets or get out of the way of a punch, right? Combat can make you freeze up. Your fight or flight is kind of kicking in. So if you are shaken, you're going to be asked to make a spirit roll, and you're going to have to succeed on that spirit roll to become unshaken. If you are shaken and start getting hit more and more, it becomes deadly for you very quickly. So shaken is not a condition you want, but it's going to happen quite a bit. If you want to instantly get rid of shaken, you can spend a benny to have that just go away anytime you want, including during other people's actions. So if you think that a bad guy is going to target you because you're shaken, even though it's not your turn, you can spend that benny, get rid of that shake right away, so that way you might not take more damage. Soak rolls. If someone hits you for a lot of damage, they beat your defense, they beat your toughness, and they're going to hit you for 2 wounds, you can spend a benny to make a soak roll. Soak roll is where you roll your vigor, and whatever your total, for every 4 or more you get, you will delete one of the wounds taken. So 1 success at 4 gets rid of 1 wounds, total of 8 gets rid of 2 wounds, so on and so forth, keep going all the way up. You can only take 3 wounds and still keep fighting. On that 4th wound, you are incapacitated. And once you are incapacitated, if you are knocked out from physical damage, you have to start rolling on a table to either become permanently injured or die. So it can be a deadly game. Well, keep that in mind as we start playing through this. Just picking a fight every single chance is a good way to get yourself killed. Okay. Soak rolls. You can draw a new action card. Initiative in this game is not done with dice rolls. Initiative in this game is done with playing cards. We have a nice little digital deck built into our layout here in Roll20. I'm going to deal you 1 playing card face up. This is a regular deck of playing cards, and you go from there. The highest card goes first all the way down. This is done every round. So initiative is constantly changing. It is not the same round to round. You might go last in round 1 and then go first in round 2. If you want a new action card at initiative, spend a benny, you'll get an additional card. You take the higher of the 2. Some edges like quick or level-headed, which I know someone in this group has, is going to grant you additional cards anyway. So some people are going to be getting cards, multiple cards off the jump, and they get to take the best of the 2. Bennies also let you re-roll damage. That's pretty self-explanatory. They let you regain power points. We have 2 arcane players already in our group, with possibly more to come. And you're going to use power points to do your spells. If you need power points back, spend a benny, you get 5. And finally, with storyteller GM permission, you can spend a benny to influence the story, where it's kind of similar to, think Beyond the Grave style, right? Like, I really need this thing in the scene, or I really would like this thing to happen. Spend a benny, talk with me, we'll make up a cool moment, and we can kind of go from there, okay? And those are your big things for bennies. All right. So yes, Spank My Betty, how will charity crit rolls work? So there are so what we can do is, if you want someone to crit hit, we will say that it is a automatic hit with a raise. If you want someone to crit fail, there is a mechanic for crit failing in this game. If you roll a 1 on both your main die and your wild die, really bad things tend to happen, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. If you're using magic and that happens, there is a backlash table that I get to roll on, and your brain might explode. Magic is dangerous. If it's your gun probably explodes in your hand, dealing you a little bit of damage, or just because it's 1 on 2 dice is pretty rare, so it's pretty bad when it happens. But when we got Spank My Betty floating out there, who knows what will happen in Deadlands? All right. That's the core mechanics of Deadlands. Is there any specific thing that you've read about your character that you had questions about before we go forward?
Nope. I'm ready.
All right. So that's the core of Savage Worlds. Now let's talk a little bit about Deadlands. What is Deadlands? Deadlands is a specific setting inside of Savage Worlds that takes place in the Weird West. Oh, it's so good. All right. So, Deadlands has gone through a multitude of different iterations and variations throughout the years. Started off as its own game, was ended up purchased, I believe, by Pinnacle for Savage Worlds, and now has gone through, I think, 2 or 3 editions inside of the Savage Worlds system. Along the way, they've made some changes to both the lore, the system, the mechanics, the whole thing. So, what is Deadlands? Deadlands is a mystical, Weird West setting. Usually takes place in what would be considered the Old West, out in the territories. It takes place in an alternate history. This is an alternate history where the Civil War ran a little bit longer than it would have in our normal timeline. One of the updates in the newest version of Savage Worlds is that the Civil War is now over. In some of the original setting, and for a while, it was still ongoing, with both the Union and the Confederacy still active in the region. That is no longer the case. The Civil War is over. It ended at the Battle of Washington, and the Union won. And the Confederacy is now dissolved. There is no Confederacy left in this world. Good fucking riddance. Okay? So, one of the better updates that they've made. However, there is still a couple of other factions still at play. After the Civil War, which has a long, bloody history that if you want to read in, not the real one, which also had a long, bloody history, but the Civil War in Deadlands has a very specific history to it, and there's just too much of it to go through right now. But if you buy the updated Deadlands book, they have a full new history, a whole new timeline. It is great. It's very interesting. It deals with a lot of different ways in which the world is being sort of manipulated by unseen forces, which causes all this additional violence and misery and chaos and evil to permeate the lands. So the big information here is that the Union wins the war, recreates one full Union territory. However, out into the Weird West, the territory governments still mostly run the area. So you have the Texas territory still reports to the Union, but they kind of operate on their own. And each territory has their own set of rangers, which I wonder if we're going to meet a ranger anytime soon. So the territory rangers still exist. Also, so do the agency. The agency is an early form of sort of spies and secret agents that the Union uses to hunt down monsters and weird stuff. And they're your secretive monster hunting group. They are also still present. The Rail Wars, if anyone familiar with the Deadlands history, is still active. So one of the big conflicts that comes up in Deadlands is that after the Civil War, instead of moving into a Reconstruction era, what happens is the rail barons all basically go to war against each other. And so you have these warring factions all trying to get a rail from the East Coast to the West Coast, but you do have one railway who starts on the West Coast and tries to start moving east. So the whole goal is who's going to meet that one rail the quickest. And there's a whole history there. It is bloody. It is violent. There is massive amounts of life lost just in battle. This becomes open warfare by the end of it, with rail barons becoming pretty much the most powerful people in the country. With that, you also have, outside of the Union, outside of the Rail Barons, you have both the Coyote Confederation and the Sioux Nation as the two largest groups of indigenous people here. They are massive collectives that maintain the old ways and are trying to push back against other groups sort of encroaching upon these lands. So those are two active participants in what's going on in the Weird West. Okay. All right. Again, a lot of history going on here. A lot of history in this game. All right. So without getting into too much of the additional things here, what I want to now do so that I can stop talking, I want to learn about who my Twilight Legionnaires are. And I'll explain what the Twilight Legion is in just a moment. But for now, while we do our normal speaking order, go through, tell me again your character's name, a little bit of your backstory, and I think I want to know what your hindrances are.
Absolutely. Jane will be back shortly. She's just in the bathroom. She'll be back. Oh, she's back already. Perfect. So I don't have to worry about that. My hindrances are Night Terror and Cursed.
Okay.
So I have Night Terrors.
Night Terrors, you say.
I'm also Cursed. I play Aram Shepherd. He is he's a ranger hunting evil across the Wyoming territory. Got a bit of a reputation, but not many people know very much about him, and he likes to keep it that way.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you have a reputation, and if you haven't thought of this beforehand, we can either make it up on the fly, or if you want to take a little bit to think about it, totally up to you. Why do you have a reputation? What did you do, or what do people think you did that got you that reputation?
So this is something I've been thinking about. Aaron Shepard is somebody who a lot of people are afraid of, and generally not the upstanding folk of a town, but generally when he shows up, it's bad news for somebody. And so anybody with skeletons in their closet might see him and think, "Uh-oh, I hope that's not for me."
Okay. So have you told everyone your occupation yet?
Oh yes, I'm a territorial ranger.
Okay. I didn't want to say it if you hadn't put it out there yet. Okay, so as a territorial ranger, one, do you know what territory you would hail from?
Probably further south, down in Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, that region.
Okay, all right. So somewhere from Nevada or New Mexico. Okay. All right. Perfect. So they just know that as a territory ranger, when Aram Shepard rolls into town, someone's dirty laundry's getting aired.
Yes.
And okay. Awesome. All right. Next.
Jane, it's your turn.
Okay. Am I being loud enough? Can people hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm playing Mei Ling. She is a worker at one of the Chinese-ran brothels out in the West. Let's see, what is there to know about her? For the most part, customers find her service enjoyable. She's very bubbly and sweet, a little bit of an airhead and a ditz. However, a few men who've caused a stir in the brothel have been found mysteriously dead with symptoms of animal mauling. Mei Ling's hindrances are she's horribly afraid of water due to the long history of China drowning women if they do things bad. And she also can't swim, due in part to being horribly afraid of water. Is there anything else that I need to list?
Again, if we haven't thought of it beforehand, that's totally fine. We can come up with different backstories as we continue forward. My big question for, Mei Ling is, how would you, working at one of these establishments, come into contact with the Twilight Legion?
Brothels are a big grapevine. A lot of rumors, a lot of secrets, a lot of traumatized men coming in, seeing a woman and just unloading all of their issues. So probably that's how.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
I like
therapy
that.
for a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say sex workers were the first therapist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this troubled, cowboy comes in one night and just starts unloading all of these really dark secrets of monsters and things that lurk out there in the shadows, which led you down the grapevine to the Twilight Legion. That makes perfect sense. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Next.
I believe that's me. I'm next. So I am playing Abigail Thomas, who, as an occupation, she is a railroad baron and very well off.
Oops.
Oh my.
Oh, you'll do fine here.
So her story into the Twilight Legion, for several years she's ran basically her father's company because her father passed away tragically in a train collision, as you do.
When you're a railroad baron.
Yeah, when you're a railroad baron and ride on the train all the time, your chances of dying on the train are quite high.
The union just really had it out for him. Pulled a switch while he was halfway over and just
can't get into a train wreck if you're not on a train.
Someone actually did that. Somebody did something like that near here, actually, in like around Stamford. Some jokester pulled a switch on one of the train tracks and sent a train into a building.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But around 2 years ago, she was engaged to a young doctor. And during one of his appointments while they were traveling, they were set upon by unknowable beasts and he was killed. From there, Abigail was just looking for answers, and she was throwing her money left, right, and sideways to whoever she thought she could get answers from, until finally she finally, I guess, bugged enough people that she came upon the Twilight Legion.
Yeah.
Her hindrances are night terrors and a major vow to the Twilight Legion, basically promising all of her income. Well, okay, so the details, anyone who belongs to the Twilight Legion can ride on her railroad for free. As long as they say the right words, they can ride on her railroad for free, no fares. And she spends a massive amount of money basically extending and purchasing materials that are needed to continue their knowledge in regards to monster hunting.
Okay. And I can tell you now, with that being a major hindrance, correct?
Yeah, both of them.
Just expect that to come back in certain ways.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
I think that would be me for going in order because Alan's not here tonight. So my character is Virginia Kosak. She's first generation American. Her family came from Ukraine, which is actually, fun fact, my actual heritage. So her family is actually a group of circus performers. They were traveling across the West to hopefully set up some establishments to give, the workers a little bit of entertainment, recognizing that it's kind of uncharted territory. And unfortunately, like most circuses of that time period, they were chased out of town and ended up going bust a lot of time. And so family tried to settle down. Her dad ended up working for the railroad, and she was not ready to settle down, nor was she ready to kind of give up the life of travel. So she stole one of the family's zebras that she was that they were in the process of selling, because unfortunately, people were being let go for their pension, and they were selling their circus animals. And she helped raise this zebra from the time it was a baby, and she wasn't just ready to let it go. So she stole Manushka, and she decided she was going to figure things out for herself.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And what dark, rainy night led you to learn about the monsters that live in the shadows in the west and led you to the Twilight Legion?
I mean, so traditionally speaking, circuses have always had things that have scared people, have always had things that kind of gone bump in the night. Especially considering it was where the first coinage of like freak show came from. So I'm assuming she may have, with her family's travels, run across things throughout her young life and kind of decided to figure out things on her own from there.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you need to know any of my...
hindrances, please.
My hindrances. So, naturally, she's an outsider. Living in the circus, she spent a lot of time being looked down upon. She's also a big mouth. Open mouth, insert foot, has no problem telling people what's what. And she's also very curious.
Curious.
Yeah.
As a longtime player of Savage Worlds, I love curious because it's one that people tend to gravitate towards because they're just like, oh yeah, a curious kid. That's one of the more deadly hindrances in this game.
Curiosity killed the cat, it also kills people.
Exactly.
But satisfaction brought it back. Everyone forgets that part.
9 times.
Curiosity killing a cat.
Brings the cat back. It doesn't say anything about the humans.
This stinky cat is causing problems.
That cat does not look satisfied.
No, she is stinky.
No, she is stinky and she is angry, and God is dead to her, and she killed him.
Sophie killed God.
I will one day be that cat. It's fine.
I don't want to give anything away. Is there any other aspect to your character you want to point out now? Any sort of background?
Sorry, my mute button is being really cranky tonight. I apologize. So she also comes from an Orthodox background. A lot of people were raised Orthodox and still are in the areas of the world. So she is actually, she was like a lucky charm for a little while of her parents, and she's considered blessed.
Oh, one more thing about mine. So Shepherd is that's not a pseudonym, well, I guess a pseudonym, an alias. His real last name is Kojasser, and he is an Armenian immigrant.
Oh, interesting.
Cat with a, oh goodness, cat, help.
Again, my cat wishes to kill God again.
This cat wants nothing to do with anybody normally, but the moment we start streaming...
Well, that'll be interesting for Shepherd, and yes, Virginia. So yes, you are considered blessed, which will come in quite handy when miracles are needed to be performed.
Maybe that'll neutralize my curse.
Oh, yes, I also forgot to mention that Mei Ling does also have the outsider hindrance, as she is from China.
Do not chew on my charging cord.
And just for anyone watching and for the players, just to clarify, we are keeping the outsider at minor. I have no personal interest in running any incredibly xenophobic or bigoted NPCs. So they might give you a little bit of guff or look at you a little weird at first, but don't expect anything too intense on that regard.
If I may, I would also like to remind people that that is an actual part of history, and culture is not a costume, et cetera, and it's important to fight racists.
Yes.
Thank you.
Incredibly. Great. Okay. And finally, Jesse.
That was really weird. I was expecting you to say ever. Okay. So my character's name is Jesse Leland Sharp, and I totally did not whatsoever base this character off of a movie that Steve had me watch called Tombstone, and the character was not Doc Holliday. But anyway.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Exactly. So yeah, that's not at all where this character came from, and we did not totally work together to make this character sheet exactly like we pictured Doc Huckleberry. Damn it.
Doc Huckleberry. It's official
That's
now.
officially change your name to Doc Huckleberry, please.
No, please, no. I like my name.
Oh, what? Oh, I accidentally knocked out Jane's headphones.
Yeah, he is essentially just a sharpshooter, a duelist, like the character.
Okay, no more standing on my...
Is he also a well-bred gentleman, a la Doc Holliday?
Yes, that is the goal. And
you're mad at me.
He's also got that outlaw background that he, does good things from time to time. I would suppose you'd say that'd be chaotic, good/neutral.
Good-ish.
Good-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, that personal moral compass, that doesn't necessarily mean that, follows the rest of the morals. But okay. What else would you...
So just kind of a wandering gun, probably your big heavy hitter. Do you use one gun?
Oh, no. I've got the ambidextrous and two-gun kid edges/advantages. So I do have my double pistols, and I can also use my double barrel shotgun in other situations. So... Perfect.
Yes. So this is probably your big heavy hitter in regard to just shootouts. So traveling gentleman gunslinger. What are your hindrances? I'm curious.
Oh, and I would like to point out another edge/advance is he's got gallows humor, so yes. Hindrances. I have 2 minor and 1 major. Aelin, if you've watched Tombstone, you know why. The tuberculosis, that consumption, from drinking too much. That's exactly what that's from. Doubting Thomas, so if we run across anything supernatural, he probably won't believe it's supernatural. He's gonna go for the Scooby-Doo mask and find that it's not a mask at all. Probably, maybe, we'll see. And then the major hindrance is bloodthirsty. If he has a chance to kill, he will, unless commanded otherwise.
So yes, the Twilight Legion has thrown a incredibly dangerous, sick gunslinger into your group. So, Jesse, my question for you before we continue on is, how would you reconcile being a doubting Thomas with working with the Twilight Legion, whose goal is to take out the things that go bump in the night?
Oh, he'd do his best to prove that they are probably delusional.
Okay. All right. So you're here to show that these are delusional people, but it's where the action is. So.
It is. I mean, they've got the most exciting adventures, even though they're probably just imagining things. There's a logical explanation for all of this.
Okay. Excellent. And yes, we will have one additional adventurer next time. We'll let him introduce himself and tell you all about his character next week. Before we move on, I wanted to clarify one thing. Since Abigail is a railroad baroness, we want to point out that there are a lot of minor railroads that connect the major railroads or to smaller sort of frontier towns. These are considered, barons. They're considered baronesses, but they're by no means the most deadly or evil of the territory. So Abigail, being an owner of her own railroad, probably has a very specific stretch or a few stretches of railroad that connect a couple of key or not key towns along the way. The reason I bring that up is because your major railroad companies, the big ones that are causing the majority of violence throughout the West right now, are as follows. You have the Bayou Vermilion, you have the Black River Rail, you have the Empire Rail, the Iron Dragon, and Lone Star. Those are the different major rails that are kind of crisscrossing and branching out from different parts of the West, trying to piggyback off of smaller rails like Abigail's would be. However, there is one smaller railroad that is kind of starting to make a splash, and that is the Wasatch Rail. You're going to hear that name pop up a few times. That is, at the moment, a smaller rail, but somehow is competing with all of the larger railroads. No one's quite sure how. Okay. All right. With that, did everybody have a chance to read through the player's introduction booklet? I'm going to
Shamedly, I did not.
No, that's okay. That's no problem. That's why we have our little session here. And we're running well ahead of time in regard to setting stuff up. So, for those watching at home, here is a short introduction into this adventure. This would be all the information that a player would get prior to the game. Welcome to the Wyoming Territory. Wild wind hisses through frosty sagebrush. Knife-sharp clouds cross a blazing white moon. In the quaking aspens that fringe the foothills, a shivering clatter draws the traveler with its siren song. Danger is everywhere, even in plain view. Welcome to Wyoming Territory, amigo, where there's nothing to fear except plumb near everything. So, you are in the Wyoming Territory. Specifically, you are being sent out to, let me make sure I say this word correctly, the Uinta County. Why are you being sent to the Uinta County? As we've covered a little bit before, you were all picked up by a group called the Twilight Legion. We will explain what the Twilight Legion is in just one moment. Actually, let's do it now. As part of the Twilight Legion, your hero is one of the few who know that monsters and magic are real. They've survived to tell the tale and been introduced into a secret organization of monster hunters called the Twilight Legion. For Jesse, you do not believe the monsters are real. You do not know the monsters are real, but one way or another, you have shown an ability to kill them. Members of the Legion have developed a few unobtrusive ways to identify one another and maintain secrecy. These might be useful to you and your hero as they interact with people during an investigation. You have a verbal greeting and a somatic greeting. For the verbal, the spoken and written phrase is lux in tenebris, which means light in darkness in Latin. Do you have a Latin speaker in the group?
Indeed. That would be me.
Abigail, did you take Latin as well?
I thought about it and then totally spaced.
No. Well, that's okay. You're one person who doesn't believe anything supernatural exists speaks it.
IRL Savannah speaks Latin because that was my language in high school.
Then I apologize for my terrible Latin pronunciation.
Okay.
This identifies its users as a member of the Twilight Legion. It's commonly used as a signature to a personal letter or telegraph. You also have a somatic greeting. Operatives use a hand sign as well, based on the Legion's official symbol. It does have a half sunset. It's done by making a fist with one hand and holding the other flat in front of it to bisect it in the middle. It's a simple, subtle way, an easy way to pull off in public. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure Yeah, like
This
how
is
you
like-
do it with your hand, I'm not
Isn't
sure.
this just like up yours?
Kind of, but no, wait, hold on. Here, let me, for those who don't have it.
Yeah, I would assume it's like this.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do in public and no one will ever see you do it.
Are they just voguing? I think they're just voguing.
I think so. I think it's, yeah, you know what? Home rule, Vogue. If you want to do the symbol, Vogue, okay? There you go. But that is what the symbol officially looks like when written. So that would kind of be what you're trying to emulate if we were not doing our better voguing. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that makes more sense than this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It is May 1884, and a heap of troubles brewing out west in Uinta County. Folks have been going missing in the vast aspen forest near Heaston Hill, and now even a U.S. agent sent to investigate has vanished without a word. A shabby organization called the Twilight Legion has put together a posse to sort things out, and that's you.
Does this posse run into raiders by any chance?
Oh, I don't know.
Particularly
Stabber.
McStabber Studios with a party of 16. Hello. Welcome to the Weird West. We are just beginning our adventure. We are doing a quick emulation of a Session Zero as we go over some history of Savage Worlds and Deadlands, and now we are in the player introduction booklet for Headstone Hill. Perfect. Please welcome, join us. Okay. This book contains all the information that you will need. It tells you to create your character, which we've already done. You have a couple of handouts coming your way. And with our fancy Roll20 system, let's get that out to you. All right. Handouts.
For those of us who are unfamiliar with how Roll20 works most of the time, how do we get to those handouts?
I will give them to you in just 1 second as soon as I'm able to pull them up. They're going to pop up on your screen in just a moment. Yeah.
And then you just miss them when you're done. And then your little journal icon, they'll be in there for later. Or they should be, if I recall correctly.
Once they're shared to you, you can go and reference them in your journal.
Can you see handout A?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Looking at handout A.
Can anyone actually read that?
It's blank.
No, it's blank.
It's blank.
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Is this where we break out the lighter and lemon juice?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, just pull the lighter to your computer screen, and that'll reveal secret text, people.
No.
Hey, where's my Cracker Jack decoder?
You're all the team kids.
Apologies, give me 1 second. What about now?
It's blank for me. So.
What happens if we close it out and go back in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna refresh the page and try again.
Still blank.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh. Refresh. It's Italian.
It's still blank.
Still blank.
Okay. Let's see here.
Technology is hard.
It is most likely user error from me. Just give me 1 second.
Do we want to talk about anything with the chat while we're waiting for this to get...
How about now?
Nope. Yep. I got it.
Let's see.
Hey.
Yes, I can see. Oh,
Whoa.
it's script.
Yep.
Oh, I can't read script.
I can mostly.
I mean, I can read it out loud.
Ooh, okay.
Here's friends and
Ooh.
columns.
Okay, so this is your first handout. As a group, as a posse, you have all received this. So before we get into everything, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, here are your handouts. Would anyone like to read this out loud?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Dearest friends and colleagues, I trust this missive finds you hale, healthy, and well prepared for your journey to Wyoming territory. I've used the Denver Pacific's rail service between the home city and Salt Lake on several occasions and always found it quite scenic and pleasant. Wyoming is lovely country when the sun shines on it. Time is short, so I shall come to this point. There's been no word on the wire from Agent George J.A. Rugg? Is that R-U-G? In more than a week. His agency superiors are nervous and unsure if invoking our aid was the correct call, but answer it we shall. Given the mystery surrounding Rugg's mission and his subsequent disappearance, I advise you to use the utmost caution. This package contains a few useful items. Please find 3 news clippings, 2 from Headstone Hill papers and 1 from the Epitaph. Rugg? God dang it, why can't I read that? I'm pretty sure it says Rugg.
I think
Yes.
it does.
Rugg went by the alias of minor Len Buckles and was under strict orders not to reveal his identity. We've included a recent photograph to help you locate him. Lastly, there's the matter of our contact already living in Headstone Hill. I'm informed by the agency that due to the vagaries of classified files and total secrecy, the contact's name was lost to official channels with Rugg's disappearance. But I happen to know the contact holds membership in our humble association. Keep your eyes open, use the signs and watchwords, and most important, watch your back. Lux in tenebris. Lacey O'Malley.
Okay. You know that Lacey O'Malley is a reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. The Tombstone Epitaph is a paper that no one reads, but it's one of the highest selling papers in the land. It is filled with gossip and scandalous stories of monsters in the West. It's a bunch of lies. No one believes it, no one reads it, but again, everyone knows what it says somehow. Lacey is one of those journalists that always finds himself right in the middle of those stories, commenting firsthand about some of the things that he's seen. It appears he is also a member of the Twilight Legion, like yourself. Okay. So he has sent that letter to you along with a couple of other pieces of information about where you're going. First off, this picture.
Rugg was a handsome devil.
Isn't he? You know who he looks like to me? Remember Home Alone? The shoveler.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh,
The weird, creepy guy who hasn't talked to his son in like several years at Christmas. Yeah.
Is this some sort of live action joke that I'm not getting because I refuse to watch live action?
Jane's uncultured. I'm working on it.
So you have this photograph. This is available to you to use during your investigation if you see fit. Okay, that is who you are looking for. You also have received a couple of news clippings. So we're going to go through and read a couple of our starting clues, make sure that we are getting off on the right start in regard to this. Just so that you know, character-wise, your characters have all of this available to you. These are actual physical clippings, letters, things like that. So you are carrying all of this with you. You have not reached Heaston Hill yet as a group. As a group, you have all come together. You have started your journey. And when we start the actual game, you will be maybe half an hour outside of town. So if you want to do anything in character starting now with these clippings, just imagine yourself, Abigail, as the rich person of the group.
Yes.
How are you or how would you be getting to Heaston Hill, which if you look at our starting map, is not close to any major railway?
Well, I do have a 4-horse carriage with a personal driver. So that's how she's getting places.
Okay. So you will have all been able to meet each other before embarking from the last major city. So will you invite any of your fellow Twilight Legionnaires into your carriage, or are they stuck riding behind?
The sassy parts of me wants to say no, they need to find their own way. But Abigail is for the cause. So she would invite them in, whoever fit.
Okay. Does it say how many people can fit into your carriage?
I had just told you I was buying a carriage. And you gave me a price.
I did, because there's an actual carriage I looked up. Let's take a look here. How many people can fit in a 4-horse carriage? I'm thinking at least 4.
Yeah. I won't be on it. I'll be riding on my own horse.
Okay, so
Wow, everyone's got
Aram
horses.
specifically would not be riding in the carriage?
So
Correct.
and that's 4 of us. Virginia, Jesse, and
Perfect.
May.
Okay. Anyone else who paid for a horse, you would be able to either tie your horses off to Aram or off to the carriage, and they would be able to follow behind. So you can ride in the carriage without losing your horse. Think in a lot of games, once you've paid for a car, even if it gets blown up or lost.
You're not going to blow up my horse, are you?
Look on your face. Would you like to correct me about anything?
Jeez, a lot of people have horse money. Damn.
I barely had horse money.
Okay. So
I
I was going to say,
I didn't have money for anything else besides the 4 specific items that I wanted. 3 of them we're utilizing right now.
So that means that, Virginia,
yes,
you don't have a horse, is that correct?
I do not have a horse.
I
have a zebra. So for those of you who are just tuning in, Virginia is, TLDR, Virginia is a child of a traveling circus that has since gone bust. And she whereas some people run away to the circus, she ran away from the circus because she wasn't ready to settle down. And she took her childhood pet, Menushka, who is a zebra, and she rides a zebra.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay. I think this is as good of a time as any. We're going to keep doing these handouts so that you can keep getting the clues, but I think this is a good time as any to go ahead and start our role play. So, officially, your wagon is creeping along. It's a dusty day. It's about dusk, and you're not that far from town, so you'll definitely reach town by the time it's completely dark, which was your goal. 4 of you, Abigail, Jesse, Mei-Ling, and Virginia, you all ride in the carriage together. I imagine you're the ones with all of the cutouts and messages from Lacey. Aram, are you up ahead scouting? Are you kind of riding alongside the carriage? Where would you generally?
I'll be up ahead.
Up ahead? Okay.
Yeah, if they're in a carriage, they're kind of helpless if anything goes down, so I'm going to make sure they don't get ambushed.
Okay. It is entirely your decision. Do you want to be traveling? I'm assume you're traveling the path off of the major railway from Bridger down to Fort Bridger to Uri to Heaston Hill. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in that last stretch between Uri to Heaston Hill. And again, the four of you are there, and Shepard has ridden up, scouting ahead. Take it away. Wagon hits a rock.
Would any of you like some water? She like pulls out some crystal glasses from like a side compartment.
Mei Ling is just like, oh my god, rich people. So a missing man. Who wants to bet that he has been disposed of?
Well, I don't think maybe he was purposefully disposed of. Perhaps something got a hold of him while he was investigating the missing agent, reporter, associate.
I mean, dead is dead. I just hope whatever it is doesn't get us.
Likelihood we might have to deal with it, but I think we are competent. It seems like the two gentlemen we have accompanying us are quite capable at violence.
Quite capable of violence. And with that, you are also now able, I had to just correct a few things very quickly, able to see your newspaper clippings. Here is the first. Jesse is leaned back, hat down over his face, as the wagon bounces up and down. Seems like this is the most comfortable he's gotten to travel in a long time.
Long time.
Okay, so this one is not written in script. Someone other than Jesse who would like to read this newspaper clipping, just the main
I can
article.
take it.
Okay, Harry, go ahead.
Heaston Hill. Heaston Mining buys half the bench. Heaston Hill. Heaston Mining Co. announced today that acquisition of 104 acres of Terrytown bench. Announced today the acquisition of 104 acres of Terrytown land. With the purchase, Heaston lays claim to more than half of the bench's mining district. But Heaston's use of steam-powered water fumes to extract ore is a destructive nuisance covered at length in these pages, and now it will spread to areas shared by independent prospectors. With the arrival of Jerem Heaston and his mining concern last month, changes rippled through the township with all of the subtlety of an earth tremor or a cyclone. One mustn't overlook the benefits of electric light or the promise of a future rail spur, but our economic promise has been accompanied by increasing acts of hooliganism, sheer lawlessness, and murder. Must our fair city bend to Heaston's yoke, even as it enjoys the fruits of his wealth? Must it bear his name? Terrytown, bench miners, should be advised that 60 acres of Heaston's new plot lie on the bench plateau. Trails to the top of the bench have been demolished with TNT, and Heaston riders detain any who trespass there. We at the Omen call upon Heaston Hills Town Council to resist what can only be called a hostile takeover. Well, that sounds suspicious.
Oh my.
It sounds simply like capitalism has begun out here, if you ask me.
Oh, yes. Simply put.
Oh, jeez, is this what I get for not going to school in either my homeland or this land? I can't read the language.
Oh, no.
I don't know what this capitalism is. And she's just gonna have her two dogs come out of her sleeves and just sit on her lap. They are both white Pekingese dogs.
White Pekingese.
Wait, 2 dogs just came out of your sleeves?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We've got dogs, we've got zebras.
Abigail kind of eyes the dog out the 2 dogs out of the corner of her eyes, and she's just like, I'm gonna have to get my carriage cleaned after this.
Oh, we had a woman. She trained them to jump through things, flaming hoops. She used to, did you jump into water? Did they do any of that?
Oh, yes.
They're
They are
lovely.
extremely well trained, and you needn't worry about your carriage. As long as no disrespectful men gets here, there won't be any worry or anything like that.
We never got a chance to shoot them out of a cannon, though. Maybe we can do that when we get to the town?
She
No.
She puts the water back and gets an amber bottle out and pours herself a little sip.
That's it? How are you going to stay warm off of that? No. Come. And she like takes the decanter.
No.
She takes the decanter out of your hand and pours a sizable amount. Here, now this is an appropriate amount of alcohol to drink. Go ahead. I insist.
Very
With
unbecoming.
alcohol that's not mine.
I'm not trying to
help
keep
yourself.
It's a good line. I'm not trying to keep warm. I like that.
But it's uncouth to pour it back in the bottle, so now I guess I have to drink it.
It'll put hair on your chest. It'll be fine.
So, as uncouth it would be to pour it back into the bottle, Abigail begins to drink her over-poured drink, and you have yet another handout. Abigail, as you sip that drink, can you read this clipping?
Yes, I can.
Heaston Hill, Wyoming, City of Plenty, Heaston Hill. This week, the fledgling city of Heaston Hill marked a major milestone. 100 tons of ghost rock extracted from under Terrytown Bench. The bonanza shows no sign of slowing. Heaston Mining Company invites all workers who want a portion of the riches to seek employment in the Uinta foothills, where there's enough for everyone. Amazing and unfathomable improvements have steadily elevated the city since Heaston's arrival. An illustriously appointed hotel and newspaper came first, followed by a parade of fancy establishments for the discerning prospector. Most incredible of all, at night, Heaston Hill's main streets blaze brightly with electric lights, bringing safety, security, and civilization to a wild and untamed land. Asked what he credits for his unbound success,
Jerem.
I was like, that sounds right. Jerem Heaston replied, science and knowledge. Through science, we have the miraculous mining flume, which allowed us to uncover more ghost rock than anyone else. And knowledge is what brought me here in the first place. Knowing of the Headstone nugget mere days after its discovery, it pays to know things.
Now, I don't need to be proficient in any script to know that this sounded contradictory to the last article we read.
So, out of character,
yes.
Fracking has never been good for anybody.
No.
And in character, I agree with you. This is highly irregular. I mean, clearly one was written by locals and the other one was written by people who can afford to stain the pages black. Or red, as it may be.
There also could be a time difference.
Ooh, what are the dates?
I don't know. I don't think that I saw a date on them.
Oh, there are.
Oh.
I think that one is a 9 from my understanding.
1883 is the one where he buys the territory. In August. And this is April 9th, 1884. So perhaps they were not excited at first for his arrival, but now that he has uplifted the town.
Or maybe anyone who would have gave a damn is dead.
Maybe this could have been just how they did things back in my village, but if you were outspoken, into the lake.
Into the lake. Ah.
Okay.
That is the way of many places around here, believe it or not. Just a little more subtle than a watery demise.
Oh, I hope I'm not sent into the lake.
Well, I don't think there's any lakes around for you to demise in.
You have an awful aversion to water. How do you bathe?
I do, but I have Zhao and Zhou with me. They help soothe the intense, crippling fear that I feel towards water. Also, I can see the bottom. Can't drown in the bathtub, right? Actually, no. One of the parlor girls I worked with, a client drowned her in the bathtub.
Jesus.
Oh.
And with that comment,
Abigail drinks more.
Aren't you glad I poured you such a large glass?
No.
Oh, she says, drinking more.
Virginia, would you be able to read our final clipping?
Yes. One moment, please. Hand out. Let's see. Okay, so this one, it looks like, oh, it's hard to see. Hold on.
It says May 11th. It
yeah,
doesn't
just-
have a year.
It does
Okay,
not
just
have, the year is cut off.
Just making sure. I wasn't sure if that was just on my end thing. So the title is Fire on the Mountain, Blood in the Streets. Heaston Hill. Stay alert and arm yourself when traveling in the Unita foothills of Wyoming Territory, or so recent reports from that area imply. Since the discovery in February last year of a 66.6 pound ghost rock slab known as the Headstone Nugget, the town of Heaston Hill Star has risen even as its citizens have begun to dread. Along with the boom comes the requisite thievery, arson, and murder. A survey of local residents by this reporter turned up a host of recent vanishings. Noted were the local prospector Orville Miller, a fixture at the mining supply emporium, Sarah Hoke, the widowed sole survivor of an Oregon-bound wagon train attacked by the, is it Ute? Raiders.
I think so. I think that's right.
Ute Raiders last fall, and Inyo Red, the alias of a vicious killer rumored of late to have been hiding out from the law in the wilds around Fort Bridger. Tensions are also rising between the miners' union, run by general store owner Frank Debonnet, and Jerome Heaston, owner of Heaston Mining. Local journalist Isidore Neustatter says that these two factions are bound to butt heads until there's fire on the mountain and blood in the streets. And then looks like there's something on there about ghostly visitations, but
In the town of Carter.
in the town of Carter.
Hmm.
So,
Does indeed sound like there are some paranormal things afoot.
I'd put stock in it.
Likely what looks paranormal is just something mundane that one cannot explain. I'm certain we'll have a rather boring explanation, and I hope it doesn't disappoint you too much.
You don't.
Abigail gets like a heavy squint at Jesse.
You don't have a lot of experience with Ghost Rock, do you?
There are many things that science has not progressed enough to explain, so I shall leave it to that when it does so.
Ooh, if we're talking about ghost stories, back in my village, they say late at night, if you walk the surrounding area of the lake, you can see the ghostly vestiges of the women who drowned. And if you step too close, they grab you and take you into a watery fate.
folk tales to prevent children from wandering towards the water at night.
Also, probably why maybe you have your phobia.
Oh, well, I probably have my phobia due to watching how many of my sisters? 5? After watching 5 of them drown.
We had a mermaid in the circus. She used to we used to get her an old fish skin, and then we used to put her in the tank, and so that she didn't drown, we used to put a little tube in the back, and she used to stay under for a really long time and then breathe in the tube and then jump back up. One time she
Precisely. A hoax.
That was
Mundane
like a hoax.
explanation.
She was a mermaid. She was just a mermaid that, we made. She wasn't a hoax. We also had a skeleton of a mermaid. That one was real.
You just never spelled out the maid part.
She was a maid. She was a woman.
Well, I mean maid as an M-A-D-E instead of mermaid as an M-A-I-D.
This is true.
Spelled differently? Oh, English is so hard.
We did have a skeleton of an actual mermaid with M-A-I-D. We just only had the skeleton.
Yes. Cobbled together likely from multiple skeletons.
Not by these hands.
Okay. We have one additional handout, and just so everyone knows, there is a major chaos looming out there that's got to get rolled as well. So prepare for that.
Yeah, I'm scouting ahead. So,
but before the chaos begins, though, I do want to get all of the clues out. That's supposed to be the opening part. So one more handout.
Hello, I feel afraid.
Jane, you made the comment you couldn't read the script. Are we playing that your character doesn't read English?
Yeah, no, Mei Ling not read English.
Okay. Then
I don't mind reading it again.
Okay. Then let's go back to Jesse. Jesse, would you please read this last entry?
I shall. This one's a bit sad, so if you cannot handle such things, I suggest you plug your ears. But then again, you would not be here had you poor constitution. Monday, April 21st, 1884. Mine blast kills 22. Heaston Hill. An accidental detonation of ghost rock fumes Saturday, April 19th, caused an explosion that rocked Tarrytown Bench, resulting in the deaths of 22 independent miners. Claim owners are at a loss to comment on the cause as they continue the grim process of digging through debris for their lost and dead. The blast occurred at roughly 6:15 a.m. on the Bench's western slopes, a populous area where numerous claims about one another. My apologies. We at the Examiner speculate that negligence may have played a part, since it is generally accepted to be nigh impossible for the independent miner to provide working conditions as safe as those of an established outfit like Heaston's. Asked for comment, Mr. Jerem Heaston said, "We face this terrible news with heavy hearts and pledge to do all we can to help our town's citizens. We've done that from the start, and I invite all the Bench's miners to come work for me, where there's safety and security to go with the daily payoff."
This sounds... what's the word I heard? This sounds salamander. Is that the word? Salamander?
Golem?
No, when something is off, but in a nasty way.
you hear from up the trail, "You mean suspicious?"
Yes, thank you! It sounds suspicious, like sabotage. Or is it sabotage? Anyways, this happened. Kind of, yes. One of the girls was too good of a dancer, and another girl didn't like that, so she put glass in her shoes.
Jesus Christ.
It's sabotage!
Are you sure you weren't in a circus?
No, I was just at a very cutthroat brothel. I was lucky. I worked as a hostess. All I had to do is deal with drunk men crying on my lap, and
Same.
the occasion.
I dare say such a job is not for the faint of heart.
Or the light of stomach.
Kind respects to the both of y'all.
Abigail.
Abigail taking another shot.
Aram, can you do me a favor?
Yes,
Can you roll a d12 for me, please?
absolutely.
Hi, I feel fear.
A
I'm in
6.
danger.
Yeah, literally. Except we're all in danger.
I don't like that face, Mr. Marshall.
It's perfect. Okay.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Wait, what?
I'm very afraid.
I don't understand the connection between these two.
You don't have to.
Can we just? Are
Is
you?
that a good thing or a bad thing?
Don't
Should we wing
understand.
it?
I don't understand what's. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna modify this slightly for the scene. Okay, here we go. So Aram yells out, "You mean suspicious?" from up ahead as he scouts the wagon again and rolls around the dusty trail. You're between the two major cities of Uri and Heaston Hill. Aram, as you are scouting up ahead, for our first roll of the game to see if you see the chaos coming, give me a notice roll.
All right, let's see. Okay, let's get this going. Where is notice? How do I
Notice
roll
is if you open your character sheet is on your skills on the left-hand side.
Yes, I see shooting, riding, persuasion. Notice.
Yep.
Oh boy, I hope you have a proficiency in it so you don't take the penalty.
Ooh. You rolled a 1 on your primary die, which is not good. Okay. But you had a 4 on your wild die. Okay. All right. So here's what's going to happen. They may have gotten rid of it in the newest section. I will have to go back and through. I'm still learning Adventures Edition, everybody at home. So if I do make a rules mistake, I do apologize. I am played 4 different versions of Savage Worlds now. So in an older version, a 1 on your primary skill die or attribute die is a failure. It's a critical failure when both come up 1. So we're going to say that's just a regular failure on your notice check. So as you are writing, you do not hear the rumbling in the bush.
Shit.
Oh no.
Also, with regards to playing the 4 different versions of Savage, can I just go ahead and say weird flex? But okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, no, it's because each one changes slightly, like really weird, obscure rules. So I never know which rule I'm running correctly. But it's just, oh, it's bad. Okay. Oh, this is going to be great. So the 4 of you are writing. I'm going to say that it is Abigail and Virginia, that you two are the ones that are writing facing forward towards the road, because with the carriage you would have like 2 and then 2 kind of looking back at each other. So both of you, you're kind of looking, and you can kind of peer out of the side and look ahead. As Aram is up ahead, he is peppered with 2 shots coming from the bushes and the shrub out to the side of the trail.
Okay.
Ouch.
Shit.
First bullet hits you for 5 damage. What is your toughness, Aram?
My toughness is 6.
6. So 5 damage does not hurt you. It did not go above your toughness. You are actually able to kind of roll just in time, or it grazes just through the sleeve of your shirt. However, you are shaken by that. You almost got shot, so you will have the condition shaken. You should see that on your character sheet. Go ahead and click that.
Yep, will do.
Okay.
I see the shaken and I click it.
When the second bullet comes in, for 7 damage.
Oh!
Yeesh.
And we were told there would not be violence tonight.
Well, that got changed by a chaos roll that, if everyone would like to know what was rolled, Harry, you said you rolled a 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay. A 6 on the major chaos roll, based on my last update, is bloodthirsty fascists or sauropods appear in the scene. And I don't understand the connection between the two.
It was basically Nazis riding dinosaurs.
No.
And we have to defeat them. So
Wow. So yes.
riding raptors in specific.
So
Well, these are not Nazis. Two disgruntled, mud-covered, teeth-lacking Confederates walk out from the bushes.
Oh, you dumb bastards.
Fuck the Confederacy, all of them.
fuck the Confederacy.
I
They don't
appreciate
get
the
Through
teeth
those
lacking
scissors.
description.
Hey,
They don't
I'm only gonna make the teeth-lacking Southerner joke specifically for Confederates.
But
They
can I
don't
just
get
add,
it.
when the shots ring out, it was like Abigail mid-sip and she spits out her whiskey on Jesse.
Oh no!
Beautiful.
Thank you for that refreshing moisture. However, alcohol is not a moisturizing product. But thank you kindly.
Aaron, you were hit for 1 wound and you remain shaken. So you have a 6 toughness to hit you for 7 damage. That is between 0 and 3 points of your toughness, which it's not a raise, it's just a normal success. And if you look at the little chart that I posted to you, if you're already shaken and you take that amount of damage, you gain a wound and you remain shaken. So go ahead and mark 1 wound and you are still shaken. Currently, you only see 2 Confederates coming out of the bush, but you're not sure. You've not been able to identify the band that is now attacking you. Those 2 do step out. They are in full view of everybody, and they lever their rifles. They go to raise them again. And with that, we will take our first break.
Okay, I'm ready
boy.
to start blasting.
Harry chooses violence.
They chose violence for me here.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience as we come back. We're preparing for our first fight. Here we go. A group so far of 2 Confederates have jumped out from the bushes outside of Heaston Hill and have shot our fearless Aram Shepherd. And the fight is about to break out. So let's get some fight music up in here. It is no longer safe. It's now a shootout.
Kablam!
All right. Initiative in this game is done using a deck of playing cards. So everyone is going to get 1 playing card.
I'm a quick draw, so I get 2. If I spend a Benny, which I will.
You're going to spend a Benny to get an extra card?
Yes.
Wait, do you have to spend a Benny? Yes.
You draw 2 cards when spending a Benny for an additional action card at the beginning of a round.
Oh, so
I would get 3?
if you wanted to spend it right now, you would get 3. But I would wait to see what cards you get before declaring.
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah.
Yeah, you can wait.
Do it right. Because I clicked the roll. I clicked
No. I'll deal them all out.
Oh, okay.
I pressed a thing. I
Yeah.
pressed a thing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I got it. Here we go.
Perfect.
I'm gonna deal 1 card to. Damn it! There's someone in here who's not a player. To Harrison. To Amber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to you 5. Okay. And then an additional card to
How do we see our
my
cards?
level-headed person.
There they are. I see them.
Okay, so everyone should have their first set of action cards.
Is there a reason I have 2?
You're level-headed, I believe, aren't you?
Oh, I am. I am. You wouldn't know that by the drink that I just spit up on Jessie, but that's how she keeps it hidden. You think I don't know what I'm doing?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Story, and I'm sticking to it.
I got a 2.
Wait, no, that's not. Wait.
That's not mine.
No, here's what we do. I don't think that.
Everyone needs to open their card and put it out on the table.
Oh, okay. Did I do that right? Yay, I did.
Remember your cards.
Yes.
Yep, I got mine in front of me.
Okay.
Oh dear.
A joker is in play. Who had the joker?
That was me.
Okay, we'll talk about what a joker does.
Me.
You got one too?
Joker, baby.
I thought there's an ace, a queen, and
Peter.
Mine.
Did you get a staff?
oh yeah,
Ducky.
there are. Oh no, mine's.
Ducky, yeah, you have not taken your card out of your hand yet onto the board.
If there's 2 jokers, that's hilarious.
Would be us.
You click and drag it out of the little box.
Yeah, I'm just moving mine around right now. Wee. Oh, I can move other people's too. Okay, that's weird.
Not touchy my queen and my ace.
Stop touching my card.
So yeah, if you click your card, Selkie, and then drag it onto the board.
I did, didn't I?
No, I can still see it in your hand.
I see her moving hers.
Yeah. Where do
Oh.
I
I
see her.
1,
Well,
2,
yeah.
5.
Yeah, it's
have it
near,
next
it's
to
in the
Carter
mountains.
right now?
Oh, okay. Okay, I apologize. It was telling me you still had one. Okay.
Don't worry.
All right, sorry. We're going to get better at this. This is our first time doing this. Okay. It's going to get so quick. It's going to be great. All right. So, starting from ace backwards, that is the initiative order. So, make sure that you're keeping your card relatively where you know that it's yours. Okay. All right. So, I see an ace and a queen for
Me?
Abigail. Now, before you begin, the Joker
Yes.
can go at any point in the round that they want. They can interrupt other people's turns. They can go first. They can go last. They can jump in on someone else's turn. They can do whatever they want. They also get a +2 to any trait roll that is an attribute or a skill roll. And if you hit for damage, you'll get a +2 to your damage as well. Okay.
Question: is mine actually a Joker? It's got a J and it's got a.
That is a jack.
That's a
Oh,
jack.
okay. Oh, okay.
Joker says the full word Joker.
Oh, okay. I don't play cards.
No.
We will have to change that. We'll play cards when you come up next. Okay. That is a jack. All right. So, until the Joker says otherwise, I'm going to go through the regular initiative order. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That's going to begin with the ace. Well, technically, you would go before anybody. So either on the ace or the queen. Abigail,
Yeah.
you are first.
I'm not throwing my dagger at him, so
Your rider yells out. He kind of yells out, "Push through or we're stopping."
I was just about to yell at him like defensive maneuvers.
Okay. He's like, "I'm in a wagon. I don't know what that means." God! He just hits the horses to go as fast as he can. That means that Aram, the carriage is now
Catching up with you.
zooming forward as you are also still in the road, shaken.
Yeah.
Okay. The minor chaos has been rolled. It will happen on their turn. It will be happening soon. Okay, so you yell out to him. Is there any other action you would like to take, though? You can yell for free. You can see the two in the road, but you don't know if they have any friends.
I guess can I do a notice to see if there's any other enemies afoot?
You can, absolutely.
Okay. So do I just click notice?
Yep.
Okay.
Ho! What the fuck?
We break it?
I think I broke it.
Yeah, that's you rolled 1d6 and you got 26.
No, I rolled 6 4 times.
Oh my god.
Oh, Miss Abigail, I do declare.
On my wild.
I want everyone needs to be made aware that Abigail on her first roll for notice got a 26 on a d6 because she rolled 6, 6, 6, 6, 2. Holy crap. Yeah, there are definitely more in the bushes, and you can see the stains on their shirt, and everything about them.
Yikes.
You realize for a moment you're a character in a tabletop game.
Holy crap. Okay. There are the two in the road, and there are 4 more. 2 kind of backing up each one. So if, one stepped in from the left side of the road, one stepped in from the right side of the road, each one of them has 2 friends with them that are kind of hiding and covering them from the tree lines.
Okay, she calls that out to Aram.
Okay. Everybody is now aware that there are 6 total. They cannot hide. They are not hidden from you any longer. You know exactly where everyone is on the map. Okay. Next would be the Jack. That's Jesse.
Why, thank you, Miss Thomas, for telling me how many targets I will dispatch all on my own. Okay. So, I am going to. Where's that thing I wanted to look at? Readying weapons.
Okay.
And use my. The pistols aren't long distance, are they?
So you have a range increment on them. Let's see. As I look at your character sheet, your Colt Frontiers have a range increment of 12, 24, 48. And then remember, that's individual spaces. Each one's about, so that's about,
That's about the same as my double barrel.
Correct. So I will say that they are probably, since you are still in the wagon and they were attacking Aram, who was scouting up ahead, they would be at your medium range band. So they would be within between 12 and 24 spaces away from you on a map. That means that you would take a -1 to this shooting.
Okay.
You will also take a -2 for an unstable platform.
Oh, damn. Okay, so -3 total.
So you're taking a -3 to this roll.
Well.
You get to shoot twice, remember.
Okay, so I rolled, but I'm not sure it took the. How do I change the? Aha!
Wait, no, you got. Reroll that. There was something I had done to your character that was incorrect. I was testing something out on your character last night. There you go.
Okay. So where do I take the negatives from?
We'll just look at the number and subtract 3. So you rolled a 9 and a 3, so your totals become a 6 and a 0, which means you hit for a 6. No, you hit.
Oh.
Remember, for shooting, you only need a 4 to hit your target.
Okay.
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 So you hit once. Roll your damage.
Oh. Uh-huh.
That's.
So that was the first is 12, which is in green, and 3 bonus damage.
Okay.
And then the second shot was a 13 and 4.
You hit with the okay, yeah. So you hit with the second shot as well. So your first shot was a 9 and 3 at the -3 for distance and a moving platform. You still hit with the 6. Your second shot was
10 and a 1.
Was a 10 and a 1. So with the 10, right? You not only hit, you hit with a raise. So you're actually dealing bonus damage there.
Nice.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the damage for that one.
Oof.
Ooh. So really good damage on the first one and absolute minimum damage on the second one. That's a rough go of it. All right. That first shot rings out. Boom. You dealt a total of 15 damage on the first shot. So you see Jesse just kind of opens up the carriage door and kind of steps out onto the footstep and just has 2 guns and uses one arm to kind of brace himself and just fires off 2 shots with his guns. And which do you want to shoot one of the guys in the road or do you want to shoot one of the guys in cover?
Road, just so we can get him out of the way. He can't stop us, and we just make a speed bump of him.
Perfect. So, Aram, one of the 2 guys that had stepped out and shot you, one of them just takes a shot right to the chest and just flies back, and it's just this perfect shot that just whizzes past you and hits him, and he goes down dead. The other one, though, at 5 damage, he kind of he takes a shot, kind of catches him in the arm. So he's like, and he kind of he slumps a little bit, but he's still up and he's still going to be able to fire back. But it did hit him. It did do damage, but doesn't quite kill him. But Jesse landed 2 shots from a moving carriage. All right. That's the Jack. Next highest on the thing is an 8. Who had the 8? Or does Virginia want to jump in?
If it's okay with you, I'm actually going to jump in just because I feel like that this next part would be so delightful to hear in the realm of the minor the minor chaos eventually.
Of course.
Off screen, I actually had a discussion with Steve about this one time only use because they're Confederates and fuck Confederates. I don't know if we're going to be able to say that enough tonight, so I'm going to encourage using a spirit roll and my extra 2 bonus because I have the Joker card. I'm going to roll my spirit because my zebra, and I'm going to encourage Minushka to trample the remaining Confederate that's in the street. Like, I'm going to just encourage her using words of affirmation and probably really badly broken Ukrainian to just run right over the guy and keep going. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. And Jane, I cannot wait to hear you do this. This is going to be lovely.
Oh boy.
Hold on, let me get to my sheet. I do apologize to anyone who's watching. I am very rusty at Roll20. So let's see. So do I just click my spirit once, or do I add the 2? Do I add the 2 to that?
Just roll the regular spirit once, and you'll add 2 to whatever number pops up.
Okay.
Okay. So you got a 3 and a 5, but for some reason when I look at it, it looks like a 6 to me, so that becomes a total of 8 instead of 7, because I want you to get that raise. So to me, it totally looks like an 8.
Okay.
All right. So with an 8, you yell out in your broken Ukrainian at the name of the zebra again?
Menushka.
Menushka. Okay.
It means menu in Ukrainian.
And so Menushka just kind of like rattles their head a little bit and slips out of their harness and rears up, makes donkey noises, and just starts makes zebra noises and just starts running off. They're mostly donkeys. No,
Zebras bark, which is weird.
Like
They
a
bark?
hyena?
Yeah, they bark. It's wild.
It's amazing. Because Selkie chatted me this last night, I had to go watch a bunch of videos about why don't humans ride or domesticate zebras? And
The answer is zebras are
assholes.
zebras are
impossible to work with.
impossible to work with assholes, and they're amazing, and this is the best thing that's ever happened. So, Mamushka runs up into the brush and starts to trample one of the Confederates. Go ahead and roll me just a base D10 and a D6.
So how do I do those?
You can either roll something on your sheet that has a D10 already associated to it, or you can hover over the little D20 symbol on the left-hand side of your screen and click the D10 option.
There's a D20 symbol on the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, is it on the main sheet?
On your main page, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you want me to roll a D10 and a D6?
Yes, please.
Okay. Does that roll?
Okay, that's
Did
an
that-
8.
Okay. It's
And then the
hard.
6.
Yeah.
The 6 is a 1. Okay, no problem. So with an 8, he runs up and he goes in, and that's your fighting roll for Mamushka. And they just come down, and they 2 hooves right on this Confederate, plops him to the ground, and then he kind of tramples him a little bit, and he gets him behind him, and he just kind of coils his back legs in, or her back legs. I'm not sure. Mamushka.
I don't think gender matters to
Okay.
zebras.
They coil their back legs and just explode this kick out. And go ahead and give me. What do you think the strength of a zebra is?
I mean, if they can take down a whole ass lion.
I'm gonna go with a 10. So
Those
go ahead
ass
and roll
lions,
me
though.
a D10.
That's what they call me, the ass lion.
Oh no!
Gosh.
I'm I'm not ever calling you ass lion.
No, nobody, please, nobody ever call me ass lion.
Too late.
It's
Oh,
you.
shit.
Do we have edit name power in
Can we-
Discord?
The next
should
one
have
with
in
Major
Discord.
Chaos, can we just change his name to ass
I will
lion?
change my... Yeah, I'll do that for Major Chaos. I will do that for Major Chaos. I'll change my name to Salubri
Somebody-
Ass Lion.
Somebody get us Major Chaos so that we can change his name to Ass Lion. Please do it, Chad. You're your only hope.
Okay. So with that damage, we're gonna say that he ran over. They ran over one of the one that Jesse had already shot.
Yeah.
So they trample him. They line up this shot. They coil their legs, and they just whoop, and this kick comes out, and you just hear crunching and cracking, and no teeth fly out because he didn't have any to get kicked out. But this
Holy shit, he's dead.
this Confederate is dead.
My
from a
only
single attack.
shot with my new
Holy
shot.
shit, he's dead.
The only good Confederate is a dead one.
Yes.
And Mamushka moves on to do this again next round.
Okay.
That was the Joker. Who had the 8?
Jane.
Hello, I had the 8. Okay, so
Jane,
now-
your turn must be spent recapping in character everything that has happened thus far in this session. This is our minor chaos roll, and this is your full turn.
Okay, so Mei Ling is just going to look down at her 2 dogs because she's been very distracted at this whole time, being like, "Oh, you guys are so cute," and she's like, "Oh wait, I should be paying attention." What's? Oh, I know what's been going on. At least I think I know what's been going on. We've been riding in this carriage, and that carriage has been taking us to this house. This Sky is disappearing, and then we've been reading a lot of boring scripts and letters and all sorts of things. And we have this picture of him. He's not exactly a looker, but that's aside. Let's see. After that, what happened? Oh, that's right. We were talking about Salamet. No, wait. Suspicious things and sabotage, and then along with that. Oh wait, Zoe. What happened after that? Oh yes. The lamb was shot. The lamb was shot twice. I think. Hold on. Yeah, he was shot twice. And then after that, let's see. Abigail poked her head out of the carriage, said that there were 6 of them. Or is it 6 of them? Said that there were 6 of them. And then after that, Jesse poked his head out of the carriage, did a little bang, 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 and then a zebra attacked him. Oh my, this is getting very exciting. Almost reminds me of the time that a horse came right into the brothel.
Huh?
Thank you so much, Mei Ling. That was awesome. So that is our recap. Boring papers, shootout, zebra attack. Okay. Who had the 7?
Me.
Okay. So Aram, you are currently shaken. Is that correct?
Yes.
That means that you have to make a spirit roll to become unshaken.
Oh, crap. That's bad. Wait, is that the button roll to unshake? What? Unshake failed.
Yeah. So Aram attempts to become unshaken. Spirit 1, wild card. Oh, you were 1 on your spirit. Ooh, that was really close to a critical failure. Okay. And fails. So that means that you are still kind of you're kind of like this bullet ripped through your sleeve, and you're kind of like still kind of shaken up by that. And then you see a zebra run by and kick a Confederate to death. So you're just kind of like, what is going on?
Maybe I've been killed and this is the last thing that my mind makes up.
However, you can spend a Benny to become unshaken if you would like to.
I'll do that. Honestly, at this point, yeah, I'll do that. I will spend a Benny.
Okay.
I'm down
Spend
to
a minute,
2.
become unshaken. That means you can immediately act. So you can.
Okay, so am I still in the way of this carriage?
You are still in the road, yes, in the way of the carriage.
I am going to move myself and my horse off the road and see if I can get a shot at somebody.
Okay, no problem at all. You move your horse enough to the side of the road that you would be able to get out of the way. And yeah, they've yelled out and you've seen enough that you would still be able to get a shot on one of the ones in the bush. There are currently 4 total enemies left.
Okay, well, I'll shoot the first one I see in the bush.
Okay.
My attack roll, I just roll shooting.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Wait, how did I roll a -1? Where the...
So you have a wound.
Oh, because I hid the shaken thing, so I wouldn't get the -1, would I?
No. So when you take a wound...
Oh, the wounds do -1.
Yes. Wounds make you roll a -1 on your traits. What is happening with this kitty?
There's the cat.
One of those ass lions.
It's an ass lion.
Okay. Yes, so because of the -1, your wild die actually got dropped down to a 0, meaning you did roll a 1 on the wild die. However, even with your -1, you got a 4 on your main D8, which means that you did in fact hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, roll damage, huh? Okay, there we go. 10. 7 and 3 bonus damage.
Okay. So you didn't hit the So just to clarify, so the bonus damage is in case you raised, but you didn't. So you're only gonna get that first.
So then just 7 damage.
So 7 damage. But with 7 damage, you take out what kind of you have a pistol, a Colt Frontier?
Yeah, I've got a Colt and
So you rein your horse, you come up and you take a shot out and you take down one of the ones hiding in the bushes. 3 left. And 3 of them raise guns. It is their turn.
Oh shit.
The one
who sprayed.
The one that you took out, his buddy specifically, is the one that wants to shoot at you.
I don't blame him.
Okay, I can't. I'm getting too many Discord messages.
It wasn't me.
I literally can't use the screen.
Are you okay?
I have this never-ending stream of Discord messages happening right now, and it's covering up the section where I see my rolls. So, yeah, it's okay. We'll be okay.
If it makes you feel any better, it's for a good cause. Hot Dog Wizard just posted a very provocative hot dog mage.
Is that right?
I mean, it looks provocative to me. Oh my god, the orange kitty transferred to Sean's house.
First one takes a shot at Aram, but misses. The bullet goes wide as he is stunned that his friend has been shot down. The other 2 pop out from behind their areas, and they have their rifles, and they start to take shots at the wagon. The first shot will go with the man who is currently hanging out of the side. Ooh, and hits for...
Nope.
Woo! 10 damage.
I refuse.
What is your toughness, Jesse?
There's a 7 with a 2 in parentheses.
Okay, so I bought you a armored vest.
Oh, sweet. You know, to keep the tuberculosis in my chest.
Exactly, right?
Okay, and not spread to anyone else.
Because you are the gunfighteriest of gunfighters in the group, I did give you a piece of armor, which I didn't see a lot of other people taking, which is awesome for me. So
I could have bought a lot of things.
You could have. But what did you buy?
It's not for combat.
Oh my.
it's a really dope idea, though. Okay, so that bullet flies in, and with your 7 toughness, it pings off of the armor that you wear as a vest, and you only take 3 of that damage. But that does mean that you are shaken. So please go ahead and check that you are shaken.
Okay, so I just put the little ticker on the left up to 3, yes?
The ticker on the side up to 3.
Above wounds.
No, all you have to do is just click the little exclamation point that says shaken.
Oh, I don't have to mark down the 3 damage?
So damage and wounds are 2 different things.
Okay.
You take wounds if you take increments of 4 more damage than your toughness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we mark down damage on here at all?
Nope, because I tell you how much damage you take, you subtract it from your toughness, and then you calculate from there if you're shaken or if you take wounds.
Oh, okay, cool. That's a really interesting system, actually.
Yeah, it allows your tougher characters to kind of eat up a bunch of damage to keep going. So, because you only get the 3 wounds, so if that 3 damage that got through, you ate up all 3 of your wounds, everyone would be dead in 1 round. So
It's true.
Okay, so all you'll have to do when it comes to your turn is click the little button that says Unshake underneath Shaken and Wounds. See where it says Unshake? On your turn, just check that, and that'll be what you gotta do. All right, that is the last of that round.
Take the cards away.
So because a Joker was drawn, we have to reshuffle the whole deck. Recall and shuffle. And then I'm going to deal 1 card to all players. I did in fact deal 1 card.
Hooray.
2 cards. Is it 2 cards for me each time? Question? Maybe.
Don't pull cards from the deck.
I'm not touching it.
There must be between 1 and 100 entries in the turn order to use this feature. I got to build that out. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. And then deal 1 card to Miss Emo Fox. There you go. All right, everyone should have their card. Go ahead and, just like before, put it up on the board for me. The bad guys drew a 10.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my quick draw skill and spend a Benny to draw.
Spend a Benny and get another card. Okay.
And yeah, to get another card, and because I have quick draw, so that makes me draw
that gets
2.
you 2 cards. Got it. So
Yep,
you're gonna
so
get
I
2
will
more action
draw
cards coming your way right now.
Oh, you're sending them? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh no, it's just that I
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, just-
Joker, baby.
Yeah, just for
I got it.
ease, I'll control the deck and deal out the cards. Just
Yep,
so.
got it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and line up the cards that you're going to be using. Let me see what I got here.
Can't make this go away.
What are you trying to make go away?
Never mind.
Okay. So I see a Joker on the table. Do you want to go first or do you want to wait?
I'm gonna go first.
Okay. So it's Joker's turn.
Is there any way I can shoot 2 dudes?
Of course. They are all within your range.
Like shoot 2 dudes at once? Like
Okay, so for you, I'm assuming
Can we
that's
do
going to have
multi-action?
to be like a multi-action.
yeah.
So you can declare that you are going to be taking 2 actions. That is something that you can do. You will take a -2
Yep.
to both actions to do that. You can actually keep declaring that and just keep adding 2 to the overall negative. So if you want to take 3 actions, -4 to all 3 actions. Okay?
Okay, I'm gonna take 2.
Take 2, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to end this right now, even though that's probably not wise. The first shot, -2. Well, the first shot doesn't get any minus, does it?
Yes. All of your actions
they all
take the
do.
minus. Yep.
So that's some ass right there.
One way to put it. But is there
They
a
call me
lock?
the ass lion because my dice rolls are ass.
I think you might have bitten off more than you can chew.
Okay.
You might have.
And also make sure you're counting how many rounds are in your gun. So you should have just fired 3 times now out of your
I have
6.
I have 3 left. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Aram lines up 2 shots. He goes to shoot the guy in front of him, and then quickly spin across his body to shoot someone across the street. He whiffs the first guy, goes across, boom, and shoots a tree way off in the distance.
I meant to hit that tree.
Just not even close.
Capable violence was incorrect.
Wait, I lied. I just lied to you. You have a joker, which means that is a flat roll. You were not taking any negatives. You got a +2 to every. Your +2 from joker cancels out your -2 from taking multi-action. You got a 4 on your second shooting roll on your wild die. You hit that second guy.
Oh,
My goodness, there are a lot of rules.
I meant to do that.
I mean,
I
honestly, that's
meant
the
to-
best thing to do when you have Joker.
On your character sheet, uncheck shaken, because the game still thinks
Oh.
you're shaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my fighting roll. Let's roll damage. Oh! Oh my goodness.
Good
Oh
lord.
my.
25 damage.
Okay. You guys are now seeing what happens in Savage Worlds. Okay.
So how dead is this guy exactly?
How dead would you like him to be?
I feel like he should have some dynamite in a bag or something,
Brain twist.
and I just hit that,
Okay.
and
So,
he's just powder.
So, Aram takes that first shot at the first guy. Again, it goes wide. It's a little close, so he's kind of awkward. But he reins his horse, and he turns over, and he shoots. The bullet goes wide. It hits that tree. Aram goes, I meant to hit that tree. The bullet ricochets back and hits the guy's pouch that he had on his hip. And a dynamite detonation goes off, and this guy is just Confederate paste everywhere.
I meant to do
because-
that too.
And because it's a dynamite blast and he rolled so much damage, he takes out that guy's friend who was standing right next to him.
God.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna blow the smoke off the gun. Like I totally meant that.
We don't violate
Jesse's gonna kind of
Confederates.
tilt the hat in your direction.
There's,
Yeah, there's still one guy left.
There's one guy left. It is the Jack's turn. Who pulled the Jack?
I pulled the jack.
If he's not running, then this guy has just paste for
Okay.
brains.
Mei-Ling is going to use some acrobatic skills to jump out the window and on top of the carriage and throw some knives.
I'm so sorry, Jane. I cannot hear anything you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mei-Ling is going to do some acrobatic shit and jump on top of the carriage and throw some knives at this bitch.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you come out of the carriage, come up to the top of it, and you're gonna throw throwing knives at this last dude. Okay, so you will need to roll.
Fighting. Agility. Okay.
Okay. There actually is a throwing skill. I did not know you wanted to do throwing knives. We can rework that, no problem. Going forward, I'll correct that. But for now, just go ahead and roll the fighting. That's fine.
Okay. That is a D6. Did that go in right?
No, you click the.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, I don't know how to use Roll20 all that well.
That's okay. It's our first time doing this setup. It will become clearer the more times we do it. No worries. But with that, you throw one of your throwing knives. You had a 3 and a 1. So unfortunately, that does not hit his parry, which you would need to for this. So you throw one of the knives, and he kind of scurries on his butt, trying to get away from Aram, who just did this ridiculous trick shot. And because he's kind of in the brush, he's kind of getting away. You lose track of him, and the knife just barely misses. It is his turn.
Oh I'm in danger.
You're not. The person closest to him is, which is still Aram.
Oh boy. I love this.
We love danger.
So he stands up. He points his gun right at you. He aims to take a shot, but because he is a Confederate, seeing that all of his friends are dead, he aims his gun right at you. He drops it. A surrender!
Does this take us out of initiative?
Um,
I'm gonna shoot him.
Yeah. At which point I was about to just shoot him.
And he is just not even make you guys roll. He is just peppered with bullets. Question. Aram. He was a surrendering man. It was a Confederate, so fuck him. But Jesse has bloodthirsty. Jesse is always going to shoot prisoners. Are you bloodthirsty by any chance?
No, but these guys, marauders, especially Confederate marauders, were treated with like the utmost hostility post-war.
Yep.
And, because essentially they were just bandits, but more violent. And so these guys, it's like dead or alive, you bring them in.
Perfect. Okay.
And I don't want to deal with him alive. He seems like a pain in the ass. If he's the type stubborn enough to keep doing this bullshit out here, he's the type to be a pain while he's on horseback.
All right. So between Jesse and Aram, they just unload into this last guy, and he is just peppered, and he goes down. You have a small cache of weapons available to you that you would be able to pick up.
Anything here look good?
It's all mundane, not very well kept, but could be worth something in town, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'll put the bodies that are not exploded. I will put on the back of my horse because there's probably some kind of price for these guys if they've been causing trouble out here.
Okay, you blew up 2 out of 6,
yeah.
So
I'll put them on top of the carriage.
I was gonna say, on your horse, 4 bodies might be rough. Abigail, Aram comes back to you.
The camel's
So your driver does kind of stop short once he sees that everything's done. He can kind of tell when danger's over, and Aram is just dragging bodies towards your carriage.
No, he ain't.
Now, Mr. Shepherd, whatever on earth do you think that you are doing?
There's probably a bounty for these guys in town. They've been causing trouble on these roads. They probably
You can claim bounties on the ones that you can carry. You're not putting dead bodies on my property.
Like hell I ain't. But I'm just gonna put them like on the luggage rack. On the back of it. Just
Are you dismissing the lady's ownership of this vehicular device?
Well, I figure if we're all on the mission together, this is the people's vehicular device. And I need it to carry bodies, so...
I figure you best respect Miss Thomas, and just as a show of...
Miss Thomas, but we gotta get these bodies in town somehow. Can't just leave them out for the vultures. I mean...
Yeah,
certainly can.
Acceptable horse.
These men deserve a burial. Unless you want to start digging, I recommend we just bring them into town.
How about this? I'll let you ride Minushka. Whether or not Minushka lets you ride them is a little different story. But you can put the bodies on your horse, and you may attempt to ride Minushka.
When you look
at the bodies on Minushka.
When you look at Minushka, from that comment, you look at Minushka, and they are over there just kicking one of the dead bodies over and over and over again. Just
on second thought, I just, you know what?
And with every kick, you hear more bone and cartilage like snapping.
Reducing it to a soup-like homogenate. Just. Oh man.
He's got as long as 15 minutes before.
Here's what we'll do. I'll take the hatchet off of my bag and just take the heads.
Oh Lord. Oh, it's that type of game, huh?
Hey, I can't carry the bodies in.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know that Abigail bought 4 horses and a carriage. Other than
driver.
Abigail, who paid for a horse?
I did.
I ain't got no horse.
I believe.
Oh,
On our
and of
creation,
course
I did.
Manushka. That so
Technically, I paid for a zebra.
correct. Jane, would you want your own horse?
No, Mei-Ling probably would not know how to ride a horse, considering her occupation. Considering her occupation was a hostess at a brothel, she probably would be more. A horse is not in her style.
Okay.
So she'll just have to hitch a ride with someone who does have a horse.
Here's
Okay.
what I'll do.
So you have your horse, Aram, and technically you have Jesse's horse.
Okay,
Manushka is only going to listen to Virginia.
Jesse, you mind if I use your horse? I can put 2 bodies on mine, 2 on yours. How does that sound?
If you place a bleeding corpse on my saddle, which is likely worth more than you've seen in your entire lifetime, I may have to dispatch of you myself.
Jeez, hostile crowd here. You're like none of. Where are y'all from? Are you from around here? Like, you live in the same world I do?
Mei-Ling is just like tugging on both Virginia's.
Here's what we'll do. I'll just tie ropes around the legs of each of the bodies and just then tie it to like the hitch on the back of the cart. They're not on your cart. How about that?
I
You
am
are
not
literally-
rolling into town with bodies dragging behind my carriage. You can take your rope, attach it to the horn of your saddle, and get on your merry way.
You are
Into town.
literally trying to make us carry your dead weight. Your literal dead weight.
Yeah, but
My
that dead
friend-
weight's worth money.
Not to me.
Is this some sort of...
If you place one of your jackets or a sheet atop my saddle, then you may load the cadavers
Deal.
on my horse.
I will take the bedroll out of my pack and just lay it over the saddle. I'll clean it when we get to camp.
Mei-Ling is just like tugging on both Virginia
Camp?
and
I am staying in
Abigail's
this
sleeves.
And then I'll
Prestigious hotel.
take a bag and I'll just scoop up some viscera, put it in there. This will be proof for the 2 that there isn't any left of.
It's some sort of strange Western tradition.
I'm a ranger.
No,
I
it's
get paid
a
off of-
strange hymn tradition.
That's how I get paid.
I don't know. I do remember some of my clients mentioning viscera, carrying dead bodies, but that's because they were grave workers.
Well, I guess I'm a grave worker of a kind.
And to think
And
it
on-
was husband material.
I find that you are indeed a grave worker, being that you dig your own.
I've been told that a few times.
Try to pull that nonsense.
I
again.
always
You'll
end
find
up being the
yourself
one
in a
above
grave
ground, though.
Situation.
And
Speaking of that, I've been shot. We should get into town.
and on
I
that
need to see a
note,
doctor.
yes, with his 2 wounds, or no, 2 with his 1 wound from a volley of shots, Aram ties the bodies off on Jesse and his own horse, and takes off towards Heaston Hill. Okay. Sorry, one moment. Pull up a lot of other things here.
Side note, looking at my frame on Twitch, ye old Twitch, I noticed that I have. Oh no, I don't. Never mind. I thought I had the Ace of Spades. I don't have the Ace of Spades. Abigail has the Ace of Spades. I wanted to start singing about seeing a sign.
Oh,
And it opened up my eyes, I saw a sign. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh my. That's what the Confederates were singing, you're right.
Oh my. Okay. About another 20 minutes pass. The bandits, the fight, taking the time to tie off the bodies has put you behind schedule. And when you were set to arrive before dark, you now have to arrive after sunset. The majority of your... When some establishments will be closed, but others might open. So... There it is now, amigos. That dark mass of buildings huddled on the mountain's shoulder, a place they call Headstone Hill. The sharp black slab of Tarrytown Bench looming over it, and beyond the high Uinta Mountains ragged across a cobalt sky. See this town's main street ablaze with electric lights for everybody. It verges on miraculous, but notice how strangely the light flickers, how every shadow grows deeper and more suspicious in its presence. Just looking at the place puts a chill down your spine. But that's where Agent George Regg vanished, and that's where you've got to go.
Everything around here labeled with such what's the word I'm looking for? Not grave.
Grave would be perfectly appropriate.
Ominous.
They're all so gloomy. I thought the West was the land of opportunities and where people don't get thrown into water if they speak out against a political party.
Yeah, well, somebody else's opportunity, evidently.
Jane, did Mei-Ling come from California?
Yes. Mei-Ling was probably trafficked from a village, like a rural village in China to California, and now she's here.
Okay, so you would actually know, just speaking of water, and what might actually add to your fear of it, is California at this time in this world has experienced a massive earthquake.
Oh,
and
okay.
all of California has been shattered and split into these giant caverns and ravines that go all the way down to the Pacific Ocean. So a couple of cities still exist. There's the city of Los Angeles, which is run by Reverend Grimm, and there's the city of Shanfan, which is dominantly a Chinese city. However, the majority of California is these massive ravines, and it's called the Great Maze. So imagine a maze that cuts its way through the state of California, and all of those caverns and all of those maze tunnels are actually sea-filled ghost rock, like rock faces.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is the coolest
Yeah,
shit in the world.
That definitely California, partly to blame why Mei-Ling is so terrified of water. Yeah,
And there are things called maze dragons, which are giant sea monsters that swim through the maze, eating ghost rock miners.
Oh my goodness, has she seen her fair share of shit through the water? Mei-Ling. Oh boy, so.
Not thrilled.
So I thought I'd throw that out for you.
Yeah, she's just like, the West is not what I was told by the men who threw me in the wagon. Well, I'm tired. A girl needs her beauty sleep after all.
So, as you pull... I think I'm losing connection. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
My internet is unstable, Zoom says. Okay. Very quickly, and then Abigail, I'll come back to you. Everyone approaching. You're still maybe, you're just outside of town. You can see town, and there's nothing between you and it. You're riding in, right? It's that shot of you're coming into town. You can see all those lights, the flickering, the stretching of shadows. I need everyone to give me a notice at -2.
How would we go about negatives, or is it just something that we just
I
roll?
find the easiest way is just to make the roll and then subtract 2 from the numbers that
Okay.
you rolled. It's
Okay.
easier than going in and making modifiers.
How am I so bad at everything?
Oh, it still shows me as
Because you're an
shaken.
ass lion.
Oh, unclick shaken from your character sheet. None of that
Unshake
stuff.
Holy
myself.
crap. Virginia Kozak just, ooh,
How do I do math?
What
that's
did
a
I
1
do?
and a 1.
You had a
I
crit
got
fail on
5.
your notice.
So, full disclosure, I don't see my dice rolling on my
It's in the chat of the Roll20 thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That's
It's a little weird.
So I did modify mine, because it's actually pretty easy. It's just like little up and down arrows. So
Oh, okay.
that is without having to subtract anything.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Sorry. Thank you.
So for notice -2,
Mm-hmm.
for me that would be a 3 and a 0.
A 3 and a 0. Okay. So, Abigail, you don't pick up on this. Virginia, you had a crit fail.
Are we just assuming she's admiring the mahogany paneling on the inside of the cave?
This wagon, coming from a circus background, this wagon is incredibly nice. So, yeah, you might...
Is that real gold filigree? This is so nice. I didn't notice
Yes,
this. I
it
was
is.
fearing for my life. Look at this. What is this? Look at that.
Jesse, you had a 5.
Yeah, 5 and a -1, whatever. That.
Okay. Remember, as long as your main die doesn't roll a 1, you can always take the higher number. So your main
okay.
die is a 5. So even that wild card at -1, it doesn't affect you.
That'll take me a little while to get used to.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So you succeed. Aram, what did you get?
I rolled poorly. I rolled a 1 and a 4. The 4 would be -2 though, so
Okay.
a 2 and a 0. or
Okay,
-1.
and Mei-Ling.
I got a 7 and a 2. So that
Comes
was
5.
5 and a 0. Yeah.
5 and a 0. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's so remember, success is 4.
So I got a success.
Yep, correct. Okay, so that means that Jesse and Mei-Ling as you're approaching, everyone's kind of talking and chattering. Aram, you're focused on the bounty you're going to collect. Virginia and Abigail talk about gold inlay and mahogany paneling. But the two of you hear a faint but high-pitched humming sound coming from the entire city. It almost sounds like insects? A swarm of some sort? No. Something screaming.
Could it possibly be a Chloe Firebird following us around?
Oh no, it's the ghost of the ancestors.
A Chloe Firebird. It could sound somewhat like a Firebird, and thank you, Chloe Firebird, for following. But it could also maybe be a
The ghost
banshee
of the
scream.
Oh, a banshee.
Oh, no.
Well, shit. Yeah, no. Mei-Ling is freaking the fuck out in the carriage because she's just like, ancestors, I have been good. Please do not devour my soul. Please do not take me to drown. I'm
Now,
a child.
Miss Ling, relax. Take a deep breath. There's a logical explanation for all of this, as there always is.
There is no logical explanation for disembodied screaming other than the ghosts of the ancestors coming to reclaim you and drag your soul into the underpits.
Again, another folk tale, a cautionary tale. Now, the rest in our presence seem not to have heard the screaming. It would almost sound like a banshee, for lack of a better word, but perhaps more likely a woman in distress. We ought to investigate.
It is definitely not from a person.
Is it
Well-
This
Baba
it's
Yaga?
coming from the town.
Oh. Perhaps a
ambient
strange
spooky.
type of cicada.
That
No.
would be, yeah.
The
That's-
town could be buried upon a graveyard of sorts, and this is the ancestors praying that their bodies are relieved from the pressure that is being put upon them by the mortal toil, and how they have been disrespected, and Mei Ling is just like holding her dogs, just internally freaking out, and she's just like, oh my gosh, it's just everything that
Oh, Mei Ling, it's fine. It's fine. It's probably just Baba Yaga. She only eats children. And then it's only the bad children. We're fine. We're fine. I don't hear it.
I'm gonna just.
Bill doesn't hear it.
But we
You were saying, Aaron?
Oh, I'm gonna pull my horse up beside the carriage. What's got all of you riled up?
Baba Yaga.
there is the wailing, the screaming of the ancestors from within this town, and it's this, and she gestures to the lights. It's coming from there.
Once someone points it out to you, and you focus, like you can all then hear it. Like once someone points it out to you, and think like that sound cicadas make at night. Like it's that level of like everywhere.
Am I familiar with banshees? Have I dealt with them
Awful.
before?
Um,
I've been a ranger for a while. And,
you have an occult?
a cult. Let's see.
Abigail
have-
just thinks it's the ghost stone or whatever the heck it is. Ghost rock.
Could be, yeah. And for anyone
I
who
do
doesn't
not.
know, both watching and in-game, Ghost Rock is the primary thing that's mined in this world. It is this white powdery rock, and the reason it's called Ghost Rock is because when it's burned for the purpose of fuel, like coal would have been, it screams like people. And no one's quite sure why, but people claim it's the ghosts of those in the earth that the rock got dug up from, so it got the name Ghost Rock.
Yeah, that sounds like the logic that Mei Ling is buying into.
I don't have any occult.
Okay, then we're gonna say Banshee specifically you've not dealt with at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How
All right.
is it called?
This map does not have a key on it. That is unfortunate. So give me 1 second. I have moved our map over. We are no longer outside of town. This is the map of Heaston Hill. So this is the layout of the town.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Lovely.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very, very cool.
No.
All
Oh,
right.
cat.
So am I to assume that Aram is looking to turn in these bodies?
Yes. I'm going to the sheriff's office.
I was gonna say, so you're looking for a jail or a sheriff's office, I imagine?
Yep.
Oh, doke.
Abigail's directing her driver to the fancy hotel.
To the fancy hotel. All right. So everyone else is with Abigail going to the fancy hotel. Let me see if I can find the fancy hotel.
Can we afford a fancy hotel?
So you are avoiding that one, I imagine.
Don't you on the boards?
Yes. Daily life that passes.
No,
There's the nice hotel.
there's not anything for you.
I disagree. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff for us at the nice hotel.
He is laying on my power strip and playing with all the cords.
Sass lion.
Cat chases
Sass
violence.
lion.
Okay. I'll get you the specific building that it is when I can go look at my map, and then I will get you guys a coded map so that you can see. I apologize, this one doesn't have the key. But you see the big sign and lights for, written in that old-timey Western style, Heaston Hill Hotel, finest in Unita. And this is in fact the largest hotel and definitely looks the fanciest. It's a 2-story building with several rooms. So you pull up in front of that, and as soon as they see a wagon pull up, some guy kind of like runs out from the front door, and he's like trying to tug on his shirt, and he's just like, ma'am?
Yes.
I've been informed I'm valet now. Would you like us to take your wagon out to the stables?
That is expected, yes.
Oh, okay. How many bags? He's obviously never done this before.
Sure. I'm assuming the bags are all on the top rack.
Yeah.
She just like points up to the top.
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Well,
Need some
unless
help
you
here,
want us-
please.
Unless you wish us to fetch the body bags that our other friend was carrying.
Jesse,
Body bags?
don't mind.
You can see in the background of just dragging them into the sheriff's office. They're not in bags, they're just bodies.
Yeah, he sees down at the end of the road Aram dragging the bodies. Oh,
There was
Yep.
some ruffians on the outside of town.
oh, really?
Confederates, or, would be, had they not been defeated so efficiently.
Mm.
Wow, that's...
Now they are just cadavers.
Cadaverates?
Cadaverates.
Damn it, Steven.
Okay, so some bounty hunters? You're a lot fancier than the normal bounty hunters that come through here.
No. And then she'll put out her hand like in like the dainty way. She's like, "I'm Miss Abigail Thomas. I'm the owner of insert railroad name that I haven't come up with yet."
Sassaline Rail.
Sassalion Railroad.
He sees your hand, daintily put out, to be offered help off the wagon, I imagine, or out of the carriage.
Yes.
And because he's beneath you, because you're up in the carriage and he's kind of down. And so he's looking kind of up at your hand a little bit, and he just kind of turns his hand at an angle, and he goes to just, "Nice to meet you."
I love this man.
Jesse will leave through the other door in the carriage and come around and actually produce an arm for Ms. Thomas and Ms. Kozak.
Can I make a recommendation for Abigail's train monopoly? Seeing that your last name is Thomas, can we go with the Sodor and Company?
Oh my god. No.
I don't.
Shining Time Station? Thomas and Friends?
Are y'all familiar with Thomas the Tank Engine?
The town they were from was Sodor.
Oh.
I work with children.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
We cut to Aram. Bleeding or bloodstains coating his shirt. Has the 2 horses with the 4 bodies stacked high on it, standing in front of a jail.
Hello? Sheriff home?
It's a stout stone structure, and it's right next to the marshal's office. So you're kind of between the two.
I feel like he's gonna get an infection dragging those bodies around.
Marshal? Anybody home? I'm gonna yell outside. I got some outlaws that need burying.
Just 1 second. So you're kind of yelling out, and you hear from inside the jail, "You looking for the sheriff?
That'd be right.
come back in the morning. Or I guess you could do a crime. That get his attention.
There's someone in the drunk tank.
You peer through the window and there's just a drunk guy in the cell. It's been locked up for the night, and now that the sun is set, it's a small enough town. They've all gone home. They know if anything breaks down that they can just get there pretty quickly.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my revolver and fire a shot in the air.
Okay, before you do that, I was going to tell you something very quickly. So let me. My Adobe just crashed. Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, my post-nasal drip is just murdering me.
As it is wont to do.
Oh, come on.
Control, delete. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. The Adobe was lost and gone forever. I'm just kidding, Clementine.
It was amazing.
I hope Twitch doesn't copyright strike us.
If you restart, it'll be fine.
Trying.
No, I was adding songs. Lyrics.
They were adding lyrics.
If you restart and try again, we might maybe carry a tune. I don't know, I'm just filling airtime. Jesse's fancy, how about you?
You see a sign for city ordinances.
Oh
Which is on page 23.
Something tells me that Harry does a crime.
Harry's about to commit a crime. Okay. Outside the sheriff's office, you see a sign for city ordinances. And this is the following of what it says. Firearms! Exclamation point. It is illegal to carry any firearm, concealed or otherwise, within the city limits. Guns must be checked at the hotel, boarding house, saloon, or marshal's office on arrival and are returned upon departure. $10 fine plus weapon confiscation.
I am going to cock my pistol, aim it at the IL on illegal, and blow it away.
Oh my god. The goal.
I need this. I gotta turn these bounties in, man.
Okay.
And I'll have a good case in court.
All right. So, Aram reads through the first of several city ordinances because I had not finished all of them yet.
Well, wait. What are the rest of them?
Oh no! Reads the first one about firearms. Pulls out his gun and puts right between puts on the dot of the I in illegal.
I'm getting the I and the L, making it legal.
Shoots out the I, and you just see smoke, and the sign has a hole in it. And you make the comment, well, I guess now it's legal. And with that, the report of the shot and his little comment, we're going to end for the evening.
We're here for a good time, not a fun time, evidently, or whatever. Long time.
Here for a
Fun time, not a long time.
We're here
Not
for
a legal
not a long time.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, that one.
For anyone who was curious, the other city ordinances: liquor. No establishment shall serve liquor on Sundays or election day. $150 fine.
Oh, that's a lot.
Conveyances. It is illegal to ride a horse, mule, or any other conveyance, such as a zebra, faster than 6 miles per hour within city limits.
That's BS. They can do at least 15.
$5 to $10 fine. Or to drive any ghost rock fueled conveyance or infernal machine within city limits between sunset and sunrise. This is a $5 to $10 fine. Nuisances. It is illegal to toss the contents of a chamber pot or similar filthy substance into a street or alley. $5 to $10 fine. And those are your city ordinances. No, Jane, it's in the frame.
James Clip, yeah. Like,
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was in the frame. I
Jane
didn't have my
Clipper
Zoom
Toad.
sign up.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. With that, we are wrapping up for the evening. Okay. I cannot wait to come back to this now that Harry is being Harry in this game. Okay.
Hi, we're criminals.
Well, look at that, partner. Looks like the storm is dying down and you can push on to the next town. Don't worry. You can come back through next week and I'll fill you in on what happens next to our heroes. I'm sure it's all sunshine and daisies from here on out. We thank you for spending the evening with us in the Weird West and hearing us spin a yarn for you. We hope you join us again next time. If you would be so kind as to click follow here on Twitch as well as subscribing on YouTube, we would be most grateful. Special thanks tonight to our patrons and our Twitch subscribers. You make our quality better, our cosplay sharper, help us feed all of our cats and dogs, of which there are so many. Many thanks also to Roll20, which we are using for our virtual gaming space, to @N8Mid for many custom character sheets, and to Ghost Stories Incorporated, Miyu, and Darren Curtis Music for some of the awesome music that graces several of our shows. Twilight Legionnaires, please remind the viewers of your name, where they can find you online, and where they will see you next between now and our next chapter. Harry, I think you're first.
Oh yes, hi, I'm Harry. You can find me on Twitter as SlibberCat, or on YouTube as SlibberCat, or on anything else as SlibberCat. If I'm on a social media, I'm on as that. Beyond that, Saratoga by Night coming later this month, season 4, the final season.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because we're not going to be in college. I'm not going to be in college after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Hi, I'm Jane, also known as the Confused Crow. I have missions open right now, so if you're curious about that, they are on my Twitter. Other than that, I'm also in the Onyx Path Last Fairy Tale campaign. My brain is not working, so that's a signing off from me.
And hello, I'm Savannah. You can find me online at Miss Emo Fox. I do have my own Twitch channel that now that I have moved, I should be back up and running this weekend. Next, you can find me on Vorpal Tales, right? Yeah, no, we do our Chronicles on Friday, where I play my lovely changeling, Emma Rose, and then you can find me on Saturday in Simba Room playing my soon-to-be queen, Farah.
I think that's me. Hi, my name is Amber. I go by the Rebel Selkie literally all over the internet. Please find me. You can also follow my board game shop, Gather and Game Buffalo, on Instagram. We are really cool. I use she, her pronouns. And tomorrow, I'm Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I'm doing Squeaks on Tuesdays. And Wednesdays, I am now doing a really cool game called Deadlands. It's really fun. You should check it out. I have a zebra. And Thursdays, am I allowed to talk about Thursday? Is that a thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, considering it starts tomorrow.
Okay, just making sure. I am still familiar with all this. I don't want to step on any toes. Tomorrow night, I am also doing a Star Trek game. It's going to be really cool. I know almost nothing about Star Trek, so let's see how well this goes over. And I think that's about it for now. I hope y'all enjoyed, because I certainly did. Check.
Hey everybody, I have enjoyed playing Jessie Leland Sharp for you all. And you can find me all over the internet as Changeling Ever, because I'm Ever. They, them pronouns, please. You can also find me on Etsy at Neat & Co Designs. I just may have today finished painting a specific blood yak, if I recall correctly, logo that I will be turning into a sticker soon-ish. You can find me playing tomorrow night as a Trekkie. I brain farted there. But yes, Star Trek. And then on Friday, be sure to join us for our charity streams. 2 one-shots, one being Blue Rose, the second being Extreme Beat Bunks Forever. Sorry, I had to say it like that. Anyway. And now I shall return to being 2 pistols and 1 strange pebble in a trench coat.
I forgot. I'm also will be in the Blue Rose one shot and the what they said. Meat punks. There we
Extreme
go.
Meat Punks Forever.
Yes, Extreme Punks Forever. So yeah, I will also be doing that. Oh, because we don't have Chronicles this Friday because we have the one shot. My brain, it caught up. It caught up to things.
It's okay. It's late.
Excuse me. Excellent. And now, for our Ride or Die viewers, it is vote time. Viewers can vote for any one player each session. Viewers, your votes will be used to add a +1 to any roll for the player you vote for. Players, your votes are worth 1 free starting Benny next session.
Nice.
So, in our normal order, please.
Yes, my vote will have to go. That's a hard one. Savannah, Abigail, you are very new to at least this game, and new to Wednesdays. And I think your character's really fun. You get my vote. I'm excited to see where the difference between the more rough and tumble of our characters and the more pampered, shall we say. Yeah.
We're not going to say where I spend
we'll
my
see
edges.
if this devolves into class warfare.
Because I'm not just rich.
Oh boy, my turn to vote. Okay, so let's see. Do I reinforce the negative behavior that is Harry choosing violence?
Y'all gotta admit, the shooting off the ill and illegal is fucking funny. Fuck all y'all if you don't think that's funny. That is...
Stop being cute. That's illegal. Harry gets my vote.
I'll shoot out the stop and the stop being cute, too. Yay, I get a vote. Mwah.
Okay.
Mwah.
Oh, that's me. My vote goes to Ever for being an utter gentleman.
You are too kind.
Because I feel like Abigail is, besides Virginia, who pours me way too much alcohol, Jesse's the only other character that's going to be like on her side, or at least pretend to be.
Hey, what has my melee done to offend Abigail?
Nothing yet. You brought 2 dogs into her carriage, and she's not sure how she feels about that.
Too much is a matter of opinion.
Yeah, hidden dogs that came out of sleeves.
I am just bummed that you bought a carriage and 4 horses rather than 2 horses and a Gatling gun.
Oh my god, Harry.
An Old West Technical, just a cart with a Gatling gun pulled by 2 horses.
God.
I believe that's called a Tachanka?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Is that me? Is
Yes.
it my turn? Oh my god. Listen, I thought Fallout was a whole hot mess. Listen, I love
Wednesdays are always a hot mess.
I know. God, do I know. It's like my favorite disaster fam, and I'm trying to figure out who to vote to.
Just wait till the lid shows up next week.
No. No. Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead ever, just because like Val Kilmer in that movie was one of my favorites. You get that vote tonight. Also, fun fact about being Doc is the accent that he used in the movie and therefore you used is actually non-existent by the time that film was created. So they found the one living person using a voice coach to find he was found in the middle of nowhere, and they recorded him speaking, and it was like they had to try to figure that out. So Val Kilmer was the best we could get out of that, and it was really interesting. So that's
I'm much obliged.
That is my little pearl of shit Amber knows for no goddamn reason.
That's
so
kind of amazing.
Enjoy that and enjoy the vote for this week. Yes.
Endeavor?
I want to vote for everybody, but it's so hard every damn time. But you kind of killed me when you said Baba Yaga, because that's one of my favorite folklore characters, creatures. I don't even know.
She's a person. She's a witch.
But when you're like, oh no, it's just Baba Yaga. She only eats children. It's fine. I'm sorry that one got me.
And only sometimes.
Perfect. Good choices all around. As mentioned, my name is Steve. You can find me on the internet at Voodoo Arcade. The next time you will see me will be on Friday, where I'll be running a charity one-shot, Meat Punks Forever! And we are doing that in celebration with Love Your Rebellion. We are working all month long to raise money for Love Your Rebellion. You can see our little charity tracker. We have gone through our initial goal of $2,000. We're continuing to get more from you wonderful people. We appreciate everything. 100% of everything that we raise this month goes to Love Your Rebellion, which is they are a nonprofit whose mission is to employ, discover, assist, and empower minority communities, those that self-identify as women, immigrants, people of color, people from queer and trans communities, people from low-income communities, people with disabilities are all included with Love Your Rebellion. We are very close to this organization. We appreciate everything that they do. We appreciate everything you do, you have done to help us help them. So tune in Friday for kind of the culmination of this whole month leading up to these charity one-shots. It's going to be awesome. Turn in for Blue Rose early in the day and tune in for Meat Punks Forever as we cap off Friday night. Continue to vote through the month of July for more chaos and for more milestones. It's awesome. But now we must bid you farewell, but only for a short while. The dusty road always leads you back here for a good story by the fire. Until next time, remember, always keep your back to the sun, don't go out half-cocked, and beware zebras. They can kick a full grown-ass lion to death. Goodbye.
Ass lion!